Nah, whoever animated that episode, they are sick, sick, sick individuals. But I would like to shake their hand. But I would like to shake their hand. Yes, I'd like to shake their hand after I wash them in ideally, like, antibacterial hand soap. Okay, here we go. Everyone, shut up.
Very fun. It's a fresh new flavor. I'm a little bit away from full positive because I do think marksmen are the most mechanically challenging champions we could see our AD carries players play, which are, you know, usually the most mechanically best playing players on the roster. But for solo queue and me actually playing the game, I think it's the worst thing ever because a bunch of skillless noobs just gonna delete waves and I don't get to interact with them and show them why they're worse than me. So that's where I've arrived. Let's see if we get some of these majors into the game one draft here. Jack, we're diving headfirst.
Are you going to buy a Kia TWI Turbo hybrid? Bro, I've been getting driven in some Kia cars lately. And I'm gonna be honest, they're really good.
Do not want to let that go into
like,
hands. But it is a little bit interesting to see them ban it on the red side with first pick, I will say.
Let's just say I'm probably not going to own a car for a while.
I want to talk about.
But if I do, Kia's going to be on the list.
Come through. Viper solo queue account. Spoke to you a little bit about this.
Yep.
He's been playing everything. He was playing Vex last night. He played Veigar bot. He played Lux bot. What was the other one that he played? I can't remember it exactly. It was something ridiculous. But he's been really experimenting in the bot lane. And then globally, also spoke to you about this. We've been seeing some crazy stuff. Sylas, Akali. I think there was a Jace bot as well.
Yeah.
A lot of really unique picks coming out. Let's have a look. What was it? It was...
I remember you talking about. Were you talking about Kled and was this on the Viper solo? You were like Kled and Darius getting played in
Yo, where's the paid partnership tag?
He was the other one was
hey,
bot, but I was
hey,
saying that Viper
hey,
has history
where's the paid partnership tag? Hey,
in tier 1 before.
Hey,
so
hey, where's the hashtag add or paid partnership tag? Uncle.
But
Rachel reply.
Gonna be the pickup
buying one
for
right
this
now.
game
Thanks,
with
Diddy
Theory
Nate.
for Shun, very strong jungler.
Crying,
Very
bro.
good for the invades and AL with a little bit of the roaming potential with the Rise. I could see a
Okay, Bard's still up. I
Vi,
think
although
Bard's
I'm not the
really high
biggest
prior maybe for BLG now.
Of Rise specifically. But it might
if they
just
go
have to
Lucian
be
Milio,
this
I think
Lucian
extra Bard.
Milio, Lucian Nami bot lane lock in here for AL. Get some
Probably
strength
Milio. I
through
think
the
people
bot
have finally realized that
Yeah,
Milio
one
is just
of
a better
the
pairing.
interesting about the flip side of the AD carry matchup with all the mage talk is that Hope hasn't, you know, adopted a ton of them yet, right? We've seen some Ziggs games from him, but he is still trying to play some of these marksmen. So with all this mage bot talk, we are going to get a more early 2026 bottom lane matchup when we talked about all those really strong.
Do you guys remember when Lucian and Nami started getting spammed? And I kept on begging. I was begging for them to play Milio instead because I thought it was just a way more OP pairing.
Make this matchup interesting though, is I do think
you guys remember that?
On is going to get out on the map a bit better than Emilio can. You definitely want to stay in lane a bit more, and Viper is on the Ezreal that's ever safe in the bottom lane, even in the 1v2. So I really want to stress the fact that with Wenbo here instead of Bin, and supports being able to roam a lot more, Jay Beto, I've been really impressed with how much On has been able to support Shun in those early games. I think Shun getting a lot more resources, playing these carry champions like this Defira we're seeing in game 1 is kind of their new recipe for success, alongside, of course, feeding Knight some resources. So we're kind of getting a taste of that here in this game 1 up against the Pandas.
Interested to see what AL are going to go for their top laner here. No Jace, so the Yorick ban can't be for covering that. I'd be pretty surprised if they did go Rumble, which the Yorick ban would be for as well, because you'd probably have to go Vi, and then I'm not a huge fan of this comp at all. But both bot lanes, like you said, having this synergy in the lanes, like very standard, like Ezreal,
No, I think it's
Lucian, Milio, these duos that
I know sometimes they handshake it, but I think people don't like
notorious.
playing the Nar side of this matchup. Like, it's annoying.
Vayne ban could be a Gnar. I could very likely see a Gnar.
And then they obviously
AL
followed
get
up with
bringing in something like that
Vayne,
into
so then it just makes
a
it more
lane
obvious.
that we spoke about before, didn't do well on the Mbessa side, but BLG
So
here.
I'm curious if they're trying to bring Wimbo into it.
Just a bit of range, so they've got a lot of range. Nefiri in this comp is going to function like a poke champion, with the ability to also go in with the Karma shields as well. The Anivia feels a very similar role here, just poking. You're going to keep AL at range, because look at how short range they are. So they are. Ryze, Lucian has gap close in the range from the Milio, sure, but it's pretty tough. It might just be that Rumble.
Could be the Rumble. You know, I really need something reliable to help further set up these damage dealers.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at. So I think it was a great shout from you, Jack. The Gnar makes a ton of sense here for Breathe. Also, you're recognizing, hey, I'm gonna get counterpicked by Wenbo here. It's final pick over to the BLG top laner. Gnar's pretty safe. You banned away the Vayne. It feels like there aren't a ton of top lane matchups.
Do you know what would be
left where,
crazy funny here?
To straight up
Shouldn't do it.
with this Gnar. So
About
I
that
like
Malphite
the
angle
Gnar
again.
coming through here to finish off, well, to almost finish off this.
Especially
AL
if
comp.
Tarzan
Of
somehow
course,
lands on
the
something
king
like
of the
Pantheon.
jungle needs to make this final pick with as many of the champions.
Because look at
off
the enemy
board as
comp, like
possible. Let's see
he's gonna
if
go Vi.
he does go for that Vi that you weren't too
Really?
sure about.
Yeah, the thing with the Vi is, I
Wow,
want a
okay.
champion that can play fast with her, and Ryze does have damage, but it takes
Ooh.
time. And
Fun hover,
it's also,
Mordekaiser.
like,
Won't happen.
I like
Mbessa.
Ryze Lee Sin.
Hey.
You know, I like
There we go
Ryze
again.
Wukong. But it is just going to
Alright.
be this Mbessa matchup that has been...
Hey boss, been trying to run the
quite
Truth
a
or
lot.
Reconciliation for 2 hours
The
now.
last
What does
couple
error
times
code
it's been
39
very,
selector
very
9 mean
favored,
in
so
Adobe
Winbow's
Premiere
gonna
Pro?
have to be on his A game. A lot of
Not a
engage for
clue, bro.
BLG
Ping,
with
ping,
the, public execution and the ult from Shun,
Kaiser.
but it's not
Ping Kaiser.
guaranteed. It's no Nautilus, it's no Leona stun.
Or use
So they're going to
ChatGPT.
have to really be poking AL down. This comp is not super easy to execute on. On the other side, it is quite easy. You know, you've got the Vi. You've got this really nice front to back with a Vi. You can also dive if you need to, but I think that in this game, if you're Vi ulting too far because of how much range there is, you're going to die because your team can't follow. So ult the first target. There's no tank. Burst it down with the Ryze, with this Lucian Milio, and try to take the fight after that.
ChatGPT said I need to buy a new PC.
Really
Will I pay you enough, don't I?
their Vi, and with this Ryze
out.
to try to impact the side lanes, BLG's fight is pretty difficult.
BLG definitely need to show some skill expression to find those winning fights. Also, you know, you talked endlessly about the Gnar and Mbessa matchup, but for Wenbo, we're, you know, still getting more and more games under his belt with this BLG roster. Out the gate, it was kind of expected champions, right? He was playing like a weak side Yorick, where he could just play away from the team, or he was playing Cassante into a weaker matchup. He'd just be a big tank later on. Like, very easy jobs. This feels like a pretty big test for Wenbo, picking up this Mbessa that very much so, like you mentioned,
Guy on
needs
top right
to
must
get
be a
into the
stack.
back
LeBron is
line
coming to his
and
team.
needs to hit these not guaranteed public executions. We're on to
Run
the
it.
rift. BLG AL, game 1. Both fan bases ever passionate, but it does sound like we've got more BLG fans in the building here, Jack. Not by much, but slightly.
What I will say, Leo, is damn, it feels good to be back here in the Giants.
Yeah.
I think Mazel and Cubby were talking about this a little earlier. Something about the NACL and how good the Giants are. Yeah, I agree. Speaking of something Cubby was talking about before, made a great point about the exhaust, as we actually do see the double exhaust used really early. I can't remember who I heard this from, as I need to hold this point.
Yeah, Shun is up in Tarzan's business, but he lands the Vaultbreaker over the wall, gets some decent chunk
Okay, Tarzan's
damage
side
in.
Raptors, so he's only got
Just
E and
trying
Q.
to, you know, buy some space here. Shun's
He
trying to
doesn't
be
have
a
W.
complete pest.
Shun
at
has
this point,
smite.
seeing
They
if he
both
can
have
maybe
smite,
smite
actually.
away this Wolf. Vaultbreaker being charged
wow.
again. It's really funny, the vision toggle. Wolf is not actually in vision at all. Owen is roamed up here next to Kyle, who's level 1, by the way. Owen is going to have access to that extra spell.
What?
It's just going to be the heal expended by Kyle. The Wolf Camp was secured by Tarzan, but can't say the rest about his blue buff. Definitely some weird jungle pathing we're already getting here in game 1.
Yeah, we don't need the engaged supports to roam. We just play Karma
we're not
Milio
done.
and we'll roam anyway. And like you
We're
said,
so back, man. We're fighting over blue buffs at level 2. This is the LPL. I've missed you so much. Smite's going to go over to
No,
Shun
Shun
here.
got
He's
it.
going to get some health back, but Shanks
Shanks
has the
has
first
the-
immediate flash there from Shun. Trying to get closer to Hope, who
Oh.
gets the double tap down and picks up first blood with
Oh, it's a
ease.
horror.
Vaultbreaker Flash is going to grab Old, who takes an extra turn shot on the way out.
the
And this
hell?
should just be more gold going back over to Hope, but the light-piercing shots don't find that kill. Knight, meanwhile, is in a 1v1 with Shanks, hoping he doesn't get popped into his egg form, and the Scorch won't do it. Oh my
Down to
god,
10
that was
HP. My
12
god.
HP. AL, though, still get first blood exactly where they want it onto Hope Solution.
That's crazy. I'm fairly sure, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure that was a flash fail from Shun. He wanted to go over the wall, and he clipped down and went towards his team. It almost actually did get him out, so maybe that was the intention, but ended up getting caught anyway.
Who says anything about it being
Nearly a bit more in favor
Her.
of AL. But what I wanted to
Calculated
talk about earlier
LPL?
with
No,
these
bro.
exhaust is that
That's why we watch it.
oftentimes people will start going cleanse in metas where you go exhaust and then you can not go exhaust and enemy just has cleanse for no reason and you have the barrier for the all-in. But in this game, both have exhaust. I think it's really good because there's like 1 or 2 targets on both teams that are going to be diving the other. Not like a bunch of massive team fight, like a big skirmish. It's more like Nefiri going in, or Ambessa ult is going in, Vi ult is going in.
How's
and the
Dick
exhaust
Sentinels?
is going to make a ton of
It was
difference
3 games and
in
low-key.
that. It's also going to make the 1v1
Like,
really
they
goofy.
were fun as shit.
Because both AD carries are just going to be exhausted
No,
at the
no.
start and then have to walk away. I guess it's a good dissuasion. Because once
will
you
tell 'em.
exhaust, the other has to exhaust or you'll lose. And you can't cleanse away from it. But, yep. Pretty interesting start this game. BLG getting a little bit of invading going, and then AL able to punish that back, but it'll be scuttle trade, or at least it should be, unless Shun can get down here and steal, although Shanks is covering very nicely for his jungler here.
Yeah, very nice.
Good damage.
Yeah, some good chunk damage. Shun will not be able to get close towards
Yeah, there was actually a
And this can kind of open
Amir
up
was fine. He
the-
just did his
the
thing, bro.
Conversation that we're gonna have without
Lion. I
let's
tweeted
just
it, but
use
Lion were
parallel
playing.
their early game styles, right? Jay Beto, it's the
If I was
kind
to
of
like,
aspect of
what would it be a metaphor?
Tarzan really wants to get up and ahead with the help of his
They were playing.
support nearby. Oh my God, breathe.
They were playing
Tempo stacked
like
up.
the same
Wenbo
way that kids
in a bit of
act
a world of hurt.
when they have a
Point
substitute
being, we
teacher
really wanna
in their
see
class.
Which of these junglers can get out and ahead
That's
early,
all I'll
because
say.
That's always Tarzan's comfort zone, and something that Shun has been a bit more accustomed to in this new look BLG lineup, and definitely something he wants on the Nefiri. He takes a bit of a look towards this bot side. He's not on vision just yet. On has the tether down. Gonna land, and there's Shun over the wall. Gonna jump right on top of Hope. Does have that
Oh my god,
flash
Shun
and
hit
exhaust,
2
though,
Qs
and
in a
there's just
row.
really not enough damage to really even
My
throw
god,
the Lucian.
brother.
So Shun's gank is just gonna basically back AL's bottom lane
But
off
yeah,
the wave, and that's
there was
about it.
that, which was really funny. Oh, Chris,
coming
you
up.
still here?
Bit of a scary one. Same timer as his AD carry, so you can just easily
There was a
check
clip. I forgot to ping it. I
Um,
forgot to mark it, and I don't think it got
But yeah,
clipped.
like you mentioned, Nefiri, a champion that loves gold, needs it
I
in
think it
most
was-
games, especially against a Vi who
I think it was
doesn't really
Dig
need
Sentinels
gold
game
that
1.
badly. Like, in
Whichever
the early
game
it's great,
XU was
obviously,
playing
every
Jarvan
champion
on.
wants gold, but it always has that point and click ult available. Speaking of ults,
Wenbo hitting it blind. First
Oh.
flash for flash. Breathe is able to barely liberate bot side. Hope's going to get exhausted as Viper shifts forward. Double flashes as Kyle tries
What
to
the
cover.
hell is going on here?
Hope
The
will
Baron steal, yeah,
survive,
because it just-
but key summoners
It was
being
because of what I
dropped
said
on the
before.
map
I was just like,
here.
this has
But
Baron
junglers,
Steel
we've been
fucking
talking
written
about Jay
all
Beto
over it, bro.
are
Like,
paying
it just,
close attention.
yep.
it just has Baron Steel written
Um,
all over it. I can
Execution
see it
and
now.
ult is- I feel like they over-nerfed it. You know, I've played Ambessa
And then
a
they
couple
dropped the
times.
Baron,
I'm
and
not
then they
the
went
top
right
player,
back to the
but,
Baron, and XU stole it.
like, man, this ult takes time to cast.
It's a wind
You know,
up,
you get it,
yeah.
you get it in an ARAM mayhem, and I did it once, and I was like, is my game frozen? When does the ult go off? But Wenbo hits it offhand, no setup, and then flash expended by Hope. But again, just the double exhaust trade, and like you mentioned, which jungler can get involved. We're taking over level 6s very soon, and while it's not exactly the same, the ults do very similar things in which the point and click engage. Obviously, Vi's got the CC, and Nefiri has more damage related to the ult and the kit in general. So whether or not you're going to be able to impact the bot lane for Shun, who has his flash up, ult now as well, whether it's just going to be this dragon, as this is upgraded smite for both junglers as well.
Yeah, they're working their way over. Both supports attached by the hip to their respective junglers. But remember, Hope and Kyle both without flash. Kyle nowhere near level 6 either by this point. Both supports at level 4. They could be fighting over this crab. Vault Breaker forward comes across from Tarzan trying to burst down on. There comes the Coley, but Shakes will pick up the easy kill. The season assist interrupts Shoot trying to dive the backline on his own. And a great flash from Shakes gets him out of dodge. Down goes Tarzan. Into the egg form goes Knight, but Viper is trapped in the back of the pit. Knight is going to resurrect here, but he's got Kyle and Hope right on top of him. Good stun and fade away, but Billy Gaming once again going to lose out on the skirmish led by Tarzan.
Yep.
Tomorrow when you stream, I'm going to say, what up, Wasteman?
Well done from Tarzan, and it'll be both flashes from the junglers. You can see there that both junglers end up doing basically the same thing. They're ulting to go in, but Tarzan actually ults Shun, I believe, to stop him from engaging on his team. Yep. Ends up getting out, even though that does happen, which is very impressive. Shanks gets out 1 HP, and then Viper kind of saves Knight here by having a little ring around the Rosie, around the Dragon, and then Arcane shifting out. Close skirmish. I think that if a couple of things had gone different, like if Shanks had fallen down, if Shun had been able to get a little bit more damage down as Ivan bot.
Yeah, they just spot Kyle. Tether's going to land here. Can the Mystic Shot go through? Wow. Yes, it can. Snipe down from Viper. He's been practicing those skill shots on the mages, so you know he's going to hit him on the 80 carries.
This is something that I'm a big believer in, about what 80 carries are actually meta right now, or like what are strong and viable A or S tier, you know what I'm saying? And I think it is the 80 carries that function like mages. Not necessarily just caster ADs, but ones that can function by themselves. And Ezreal doesn't have the best wave clear, but he does function very similarly to a mage in a fight, like you just mentioned. Lucian's good because he's so good with Milio.
Oh, Wembo.
Yep.
And then other things like the Varus for casting. Jhin is also like a caster and can sit back like a Zera.
Wondering when we're going to get back to the Corki.
That is the 80 carries that are really, really strong right now. If you're going to pick up something like a Xayah,
I've just watched Knight miss 3 CS in a row.
Bait and mid potentially.
Yeah, but it's just so hard. This is the holdup, right? With this BLG draft, you really pointed out so well, Jack, is that they're kind of just hoping people overstep. There's not like a reliable just snap and grab depth charge you can throw down or cease and desist like Tarzan has. So you see spots like that where Shun and On are just kind of hoping that Shanks makes the mistake. And that's a slippery slope to go on. As I say that, though, Shanks takes quite a licking there from
Knight. Dead.
On those going to get trapped by the kickball. Hope nearly finds the double tap onto On. Flash being expended there. Lucian definitely starting to take hold on this 2v2 a bit. That is a proxying Anivia. That is just how chilling Knight is right now in this matchup.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty tough matchup. I think Shanks is doing a pretty good job. Like 5 CS down, he's going to basically even it up if he can get all of that CS right there. The support down. Shanks able to TP back, and Knight having to base with no TP. This should be taken over for AL, although BLG are rushing pretty quickly over. Shanks has Realm Orb to join. Maybe BLG none the wiser and are not going to go over. No, of course. Shouldn't thinking about it. He's not gonna. Just Dragon for AL.
At 11 minutes, that is the opening Dragon, so something to take note of. How much later we expect, potential Dragon Souls to come about. But the win here for AL, and of course it being Tarzan, no surprise here, Jay Beto, is he picks up all 3 grubs uncontested that first Drake, and that's a pretty big marker to hit. A lot of teams that win a lot of games of League of Legends, folks, they get the first 2 objectives fully into their own pocket. So great sign there for AL, but BLG have actually been able to come back from that 1K gold deficit.
I hope you guys are excited seeing these 80 carries, because next game they will be playing Ziggs Victor.
Getting completed shortly for a lot of these laners.
Yep. We should be croxing soon into the part, space cancel, to the part of the game where I want the Lucian Milio to start doing more. Be in the mid lane by 15
I mean, if Hope has Essence Reaver on this base, they should just open him out ultimate.
Boots completed. Pushing mid waves is in top.
Wembo just getting walked down. I mean, Breathe had the Gnar bar stacked up pretty highly here. He's going to use the Gnar ultimate. Public execution this time will be sidestepped by Tarzan, and Wembo is mincemeat here for Tarzan, who is looking for a feast. Only a matter of time. One more Vault Breaker will do it. And Tarzan, stop me if you've heard this one before, is ahead and gold rich for AL.
Yep. He is ahead.
I don't know, I just watched EWC, MSI back-to-back. How do you get excited for early split games? It's tough. Like, there's a bit of
honestly not that much.
Pardon me,
jungling
burnout for
intervention.
sure.
Like, there've been some team fights around the dragon, sure, but it's, you know, plates and
Oh, hell
the
no.
CS lead that is quite nice. And items aren't terrible right now, but when Viper's able to get the Mana Moon online before this Lucian is, you can already see Ezreal's in the mid lane pushing in, while Lucian is in the bot lane, kind of sad. And
Whoa.
here comes Realm Warp.
BLG are getting pinched. Yeah, the Realm Warp is going to bring 3 members of AL. Vaultbreaker flash from Tarzan's going to lock on in place.
Tarzan didn't press all hit.
Last-ditch effort as Greg gets something back for BLG, but Breathe finds that kill. Knight trying to flash away from a Rune Prison. Lockdown
the
from
minion blocked
Shanks here. He does have access to that passive, but the cease and desist is going to make sure
I mean, if
he's
they
going
kill
to do
him-
an egg for one way or another. But Shun is able to pop Tarzan.
They can
There's the
burst him
passive
from there, right?
down.
Yeah.
Do they have enough DPS before he reses? Yes, they do. Breathe in Meganar fashion will make
Dig
it
versus
a winning
Sentinels,
play
GX
there
versus
for
Na'Vi.
AL as they overload the top side.
Yeah,
Breed's
not
having
great.
a great game so far in this first game.
Oversaturation
He's
isn't a
the
thing,
one
guys.
up
One more game will
1K.
save the scene.
Tarzan
Wallahi,
does
it will.
die and is no longer up a meaningful amount of gold, but Breathe is up a lot. Wenbo will even that up a little bit with the tier 1 turret taken, but now the Gnar TP's back down, can maybe do a bit of chunk instead. Wenbo will run away and Breathe will be able to take that. As we take a look back, this is a really smart Realm Warp. Because Ezreal can't join their down numbers, great punch from Tarzan, the punch flash
Oh,
to
Shun,
catch
no?
on underneath the turret. That takes a lot
just
of
watched him
damage
W
from
in front of
Breeze,
your
and then
face.
this kind of slow chase. The root is great. Just well played. This overload on side from AL is what we wanted to see from the Rise, and they're utilizing it really well, giving Breed this lead. We just have to see what he can continue to do with this lead, because he's got a really good team comp to snowball this lead.
Looks like BLG aren't perturbed by that AL punish on this top side. They're once again sending Shun up here with On. Knight hammering onto that tier 1 turret. So despite that great map play you called out,
Christoph?
Pedo, BLG are not disturbed at all.
Sup,
They
bro?
are going to cover for this top lane push, going to steal away some camps as well. There's not a lot for AL to do on the flip side. The real only option here is for
Can they just
Tarzan
murder
to
Wenbo under the tower
possibly
here?
looking to dive onto Wenbo. He's going to
He has
steal
tabbies.
away
I think they need
Krugs and
3.
well, he's gonna look to commit.
Even
There's
with
no
Meganar, this
cease
could
and
be a bit...
desist here, but Breathe has stacked up in a Narbar fashion, but
Yeah, it could be a bit
lot of
techie.
chip damage from Wenbo is going to likely dissolve that dive. The wave is done for, and BLG look to go unpunished taking this top lane tier 1.
Really like this. I don't know if this is the team that did it first, but I like to call this the Gen G, where you rotate almost your entire team. To specifically top lane is when Gen G did it, but it can be anywhere. And you just stand there behind the tower and you keep them out. You keep their entire team out and you just funnel the waves in. You take the entire turret in the enemy's face. Gen G used to do it a lot last year, and BLG doing it right now, making it look really easy. Well done. And also Wenbo living on the cross map too. Really well played. I think when Breathe goes into Mega, like there's the CC sure, but he doesn't have anywhere near as much damage with the lethal tempo setup. So not able to. Nia TP's back. The Herald is an option for both teams here. I want to see Viper participate in a fight. He's got a ton of items and damage with these items, and he hasn't really been a part of a fight yet since he's completed this Trinity Force. And I think that when he does participate, it's going to be a big problem. AL could look to just give this Herald though and go for the second Dragon, but they're not confident at all with the map state. They've got waves pushed in bot. Ezreal is constantly winning mid-push against Lucian, which should never happen.
Yeah.
Lucian Milio should always have wave prayer. I know Karma's scary, but AL are trying.
Tarzan's trying to force this, right? He starts to drag it up on his own. Wenbo's going to disturb him a bit. Public Execution, though, is going to snipe on a Kyle. Immediately uses that Breath of Life. And Viper's poke is starting to come through here on a Tarzan.
For Wenbo,
trying to create some space between Breathe and Tarzan. No cease and desist.
It's troll
though,
now
and
because he's
the
going to die, but he
Narbar
actually
is
bought them so
quickly
much space.
dissipating.
BLG just couldn't
He's gonna
catch
be able
up.
to get that ultimate. The stun, followed by the Vault Breaker, is pretty
Like, unironically,
seamless.
he's put them in a really
Picking
shit
up
spot,
that
you
kill,
know.
But here comes the BLG flank. Shun from behind is trying to corner the Pandas in their cage here, and they've caught Hope. Viper gonna knock him down with a Mystic Shot.
Oh, knock up into the wall. He's dead. Wow.
Between the wall and all of BLG, and Shun pounces
Wenbo
on
did that, by
him.
the way.
No dragon needed for BLG. They're just gonna gobble up a ton of gold to the tune of 2,500.
Yep. Great delay play from Wenbo there.
Would you engage with a take about how LOL Esports' import discussion is contributing to the rise of far-right populism?
Some low health AL members I don't have another way to put it. Hope is just useless this game.
I would engage with it, not on an official
on a duo
LCS co-stream.
very strong. I get Ezreal Karma is scary in the lane, but it's become a massive
I would
problem in
I would
this
happily
first
engage
game,
with the take
and
here
the bleeding
now.
is not stopping. Like you mentioned earlier, it's hemorrhaging in the bot lane. So take a look back. Wenbo does go in. It looks a bit scary. He's trying to join his team, and then eventually just says,
But whilst
no,
I have those C9
I'm not
sponsors
getting out.
flashing
I'm
on my
going in.
screen,
I'm
I
going to
think
buy
I'm
as
okay.
much time as I possibly can, and all of AL decide that's the play. Shank's actually on the other side that we didn't get to see.
Yeah.
Realm Warp's underneath the tier 1 tower, so he's completely... That's essentially a kill. He cannot join, he will not join. Wenbo buys time, but look at the health bars of Kael, of Tarzan, of Hope. And this is a really nice tether from On to allow Viper to get over. Shun drives the Herald as well. Really well played from BLG off the back of Wenbo's sacrifice.
Really good patience by BLG here. And once again, yeah, Wenbo, good job kind of just serving that role like you talked about, buying all that space and time. Because if he doesn't do that, if he goes down quicker, AL can kind of just exit. And now Wenbo's feeling a bit confident here. Just ults on top of Breathe, who does go mini. AL have members waiting in the fray. They won't commit to that dive, but Breathe is able to walk away. Problem is, all this attention towards the top side. Viper with that mid push like you were talking about, with the help of Knight and On, will get rid of that last tier 1 turret standing. So a ton
Just
of
restart the
map
stream for
now
that call. No, I'm okay.
accessible by BLG.
Yep. I mean, Hope kind of being left alone as well. That ult did literally nothing. Not saying it was a waste of an ult use, but it just did no damage at all. Really struggling in this first game. What I will say about Wenbo is that if this keeps up with the 1k deficit in the sacrifice, he will get MVP by the AI. That's what I will say.
Oh man, it has been you know, it has been entertaining to see those. That's how I will label it.
That's a word. That's a way of putting it.
I'd like to think that's the journalistic safe approach to the thoughts. Jay Beto, you may take a more direct approach if you would like. Feel free, but
what kind of direct approach were you referring to? Obviously, you have stronger words that you were thinking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Incorrect voting. That's also a way I think to phrase it. But hey, you know what? Everyone and I guess everything is entitled to their opinions.
Speaking about entitled to your opinions, and I'm doing this half because I want to and half because producer Ilya told us not to. I don't know anything about basketball, right? Very little.
Yes. Yep.
I know how you score. That's about it.
There you go.
But I have been seeing on my timeline a lot of this like old gen versus new gen debate. And since you're the guy for basketball, where do you line up on this debate? Are you like oh, these new heads wouldn't last a minute in the 90s? Or are you like, no, LeBron would score 150 points every game?
You know, I'll safe to say I'm a little bit biased on the LeBron front at this current moment, as he is recently joined my team.
Your team, yes.
But no, I definitely line up on the new age is definitely, you know, the better thing. The better squad. It's
They're talking about basketball,
human
man. They're so bored.
thing. The game has evolved.
Me too, guys, to be fair.
Same way we think about League of Legends, right? The best way to think about it. League Classic, you guys, I'm sure a lot of you will get to play it when it comes out soon. You've seen some of the show matches. If you watch the game, it's a lot more simplistic.
Oh, God, yeah. League Classic's out
when you
soon.
play it, you're going to be reminded that the game we play now is much harder and much more competitive. So that's where I'll land in that agreement. But, Jack, let's talk about the new gen focus of this game, which is going to be into the future, which is this Cloud Drake that's in about a minute. We, of course, have the Baron on the map, but it's just BLG that hold a lot more space, and it's making AL a bit more skittish about trying to make these cross-map plays you really hyped up.
Yep. You know what's scary?
I'm really sad about how they've done League Classic, by the way.
Nefiri and Embessa with the Cloud Soul. That's pretty terrifying. Obviously, AL, not bad with it either. Like, Lucian with the Cloud Soul is really scary. Vi's the same. But yeah, Cloud Soul is very entertaining to watch. It's like the soul that, in my opinion, has the most value that you can't directly see, because Hextech Soul, you can see extra damage numbers, you see the lightning, the Infernal Soul, you see the explosion.
I think trying to encompass it to the first 3 seasons.
Cloud Soul is like, not objectively, it's underratedly maybe the best soul, because movement speed is a ridiculous
I think they should have
game.
just...
especially for a comp like
It's
BLG,
kind of just this
where they
mishmash,
struggle
right?
to get in because of the no confirm.
And don't get me wrong, it's still going to be fun.
They can get in there much
I
quicker.
do worry about how
especially
quickly the
with
novelty will or
they love
won't
kiting
like wear
you,
off
walking
for
back,
me.
walking forward, and if AL don't have that, really tough. On
But
the
it's
flip
also
side,
I'm
AL
actually
can
just
get
in a
the
really
cloud, so
awkward
they can
spot
close the gap a lot
because
easier.
everything
Dragon
season 3 and
being
before,
started up
give or
here.
take.
Flash is
And I started
available
playing the
for
game in
all
season
carries.
season 3,
But Hope is in
and
the
I started
bot
playing
lane.
the game in season 4.
I'm just going to play for that turn gold. It is,
So,
remember,
like,
the
it should
only the
just be
third
gone.
Drake of the game. The first one we got
It's
was
actually
at
just like
11,
real life.
so
How
third
technically I'm a
Drake,
90s
second
kid because
Drake
I
of
was
BLG,
born in
not
1999.
too dangerous of a thing to give
But
up
like
here, and
practically,
AL just
other than my
making a
moderately
conscious
unique
decision.
upbringing,
I don't necessarily hate it because I think
I'm not really a
buying
90s
some more
kid,
time
you
could
know?
be valuable
Like-
for, mainly guys like Shanks on this rise. He went the double defensive, health.
that's what
stacking
League Classic
route,
feels
so
like to me.
Shanks is really the huge last-ditch damage effort of a later game scenario, and he should now be able to just stack up some pure damage items. That will buy them some time, but hey, like you mentioned, BLG, a Cloud Soul would be amazing for them, and they're still cruising behind Viper, who has hit that more amount of power spike and then some. Jay Beto, this is really the strongest point we consistently see Ezreal at when we talk about game state-wise.
Yep, very strong point. Has the Gluts finished? Working on, I believe, Shojin, although I could be wrong. Double Ruby Crystal Pickaxe, I believe it's Shojin. So that'll make him even tankier. The thing with this build, and we haven't been seeing Corki a lot because he doesn't function like a mage at all. He is kind of a caster, but he's just too short-ranged.
Yeah.
He's too dependent on the support pairing and being babysat by a support. Hold on.
All right, we're just ripping the Baron here with Viper. Tarzan trying to make his way over here. Kyle's gonna
damage
spot
check
this out
maybe?
with a pink ward. Yeah, and they just gonna maybe just testing the response of AL for now.
Yeah, just fishing, seeing like, all right. Let's have a look. See what we can do. This is something that BLG have been doing a lot since MSI, and they started doing it a lot in MSI, and I have a feeling they were scrimming a certain someone who does this all the time.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink, wink. And it does work. It really does. It's a very easy way to say, quick, are you ready? And if you aren't, we get Baron. If you are ready, we lose nothing. Because it's a very like high reward, low risk play. But AL now with positions around the Baron. Don't want to run the risk of having
I mean,
that
I used to
happen again.
smurf
So
all
they
the
put
time
down some
in
vision
like
themselves.
season
There's the Shojin completed.
6,
So talking
7,
about this
8,
build,
9.
One of the reasons
Little
why
bit
it's
10,
so
but not so
strong,
much.
and on Ezreal specifically, like it's really, really good to the point where he just hasn't been not meta since he came back however long ago, is because it makes you really tanky. It makes you kind of like a pseudo fighter while also having damage equivalent to an 80 carry because you are an 80 carry.
Yep.
So other 80 carries, your full glass cannon, you get one shot. Ezreal doesn't really get one shot with this build because he has so much health. True?
Hey, listen,
Ezreal's splaining.
I'm here to just oversee, and everything you're saying, you're spitting facts here. And the audience now understands the world of an Ezreal player. The one thing I'd add on to what you're talking about with this build, Jay Beto, also the obvious thing with Shojin is just pure CDR, right? He doesn't go the CDR boots with the Gluttonous Greaves. He played for the power spike, the fact that he's so fed in the head. So now getting that CDR behind him, you can fire at as many Mystic shots as possible. That's also big reason why you see this build path come across for Viper, and he's going to show off this stuff here in this
Gusto, Gav, thanks so much for the 1 month, man.
BLG are going to back off here. It seems like they're trying to play for that really tough juncture for AL between Baron being up on the map and Cloud Soul Point in about a minute's time.
Yeah. Are you a endless hunger Ezreal kind of guy?
I think it's really situational on third item with Ezreal. I think in a game like this for Viper, I wouldn't have hated it because it's not a super tanky comp and you got ahead, so you just want to do as much damage as possible. But in compositions where you think you're going to throw a lot of Qs out, you can go Shojin, neither are a bad choice is what I'll say. BLG are back to that Baron sneaking antic you talked about, Jay Beto, and Tarzan gonna vault breaker over the wall. He's gonna go after the support.
Okay.
Sees assist on to on. Gonna survive.
Oh my god, that last Q missed.
Hound's pursuit, but he will be interrupted.
When was the last time there was a kill? It's been a couple of minutes. You're about to see one right now,
him.
probably though. Oh, big ult from Breathe. There you go,
Picks
Viper's dead.
off
That
Viper.
should be an
The
AL
big
win.
bad Ezreal drops to the floor, and now AL can flourish. Shun gonna look for a trade, but can't even get it. One goes on
Oh, the
target.
dogs
Does
blocked the
actually
Q.
end up finding Tarzan, but he's the only one
Can they
that
do
ends
Nash?
up
Are they too low?
surviving in the river. AL
Too low, no jungle,
finally
no,
make
not
that
worth.
miracle pick and slow down the BLG freight train.
What a huge ult from Breathe. Single-handedly wins the fight, but a mistake from BLG. They're trying the Baron. They're trying to pull you away from bottom side because they don't have priority on the bottom side of the map. So maybe they can recontest mid. They can rotate down and get vision down there again. So Tarzan goes in, and it's not great, but Shun's is way worse. Where are you going, my man? And then Wenbo's in way too deep. Health bars from BLG are low, and then Breathe finds this awesome flash ult onto 3 in the backline. And Wenbo, yes, he's diving, but it's just not quite doing enough. He doesn't have enough damage, and Breathe absolutely does. He tears through BLG, and it won't be Baron just yet, but AL are starting it.
AL starting it up here as BLG are still messing around with the mid wave. And they just now, Scryer's Orb spot the Baron going down. Already below half HP, the Calling from Hope trying to keep BLG out of the pit. But here they come, and AL do not want to risk the 50-50. They're going to get out of the pit with Shun taking quite a hankering of damage. Cloud Drake is spawned in the bot side river, and BLG are going to be able to first move towards it now, with AL looking to take some split resets here.
Yep, I would much prefer BLG play these fights slower. I really don't think that their comp is as good as they want it to be at throwing themselves at... This is a problem. They should have done Dragon. Not seeing this is a massive mistake. And it's...
Right back in.
They're actually going to drop off it though.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wow.
This is the ultimate... This is the ultimate game of chicken game 1, Jay Beto. with these Baron pulls. We've had both teams now mess around a bit. Wenbo's going to spot Breathe in that pixel brush, but he goes Mega Gnar. Ultimate not going to land. No public
it's fine. Guardian
Wenbo.
showed up.
Splits the uprights between Shakes and Breathe. Realm Warp now going to be used to get Breathe out. And Shakes is already on the right side of the wall. These recall timings, these fake outs on the Baron are really testing.
Oh, I've never seen the Gnar base in Mega. I didn't realize he's hitting it on his head.
Yep. It's really hard for the supports as well because
That's
you want
good.
to reset for more wards, but then someone needs to be over to check. And you'd hope it...
Oh my god.
So again, AL want to do the Dragon, and BLG say, no, you're not allowed. We're doing the Baron. They do it much faster.
My god, what's going on?
Viper's damage. Tarzan, Vault Breaker charge. He's going to get
Oh, he's
stunned
stunned.
by Knight.
He's fucked. He can't get in.
Goes up and Knight's
Can he?
gonna
He's in.
Tarzan, we're getting close
Oh,
enough. He
smite down's
does
like
get
150,
near,
I
but
think.
Shun's gonna smite it away. Baron secured from BLG. Sees
Good buffer on the shift.
Viper, but he
Shanks
arcades
Sonya's
away
is
from
good. He's
Tarzan,
got no
and
flash
Shanks
though.
is caught in the glacial storm.
He's dead. That's going to be a
Right where
reset for
Shun
Shun.
wants him,
Straight
and
onto
Viper
Hope.
goes
Hope's
forward. Shun's
got enough
out.
to
Shun
kite in the
gets
tank.
on
Look at
top of
Breathe
Hope,
though.
and the Darkened Dagger
No, can't
with
come
the
in.
bleed will be enough
They saw
to
him
knock
somehow.
down the Lucian.
Or maybe they
BLG called the bluff
had him
of
for a while.
AL, and now they're gonna break him open down the seams. Viper finds a second onto Kyle. BLG break open game 1.
Yep. And that might have been the thing that broke the entire game completely. AL might not be able to come back at all. This should be BLG getting Cloud Soul point as well. If they can't even just end the game right now.
Have to see here. They're onto that inhibitor turret. They seem a little sheepish, Jay Beto. They're going to back off. They're going to take the safer approach.
Yeah, 10 seconds, so that's a bit risky. Gotta take your advantages here. But the Baron goes down so quickly. AL also do the Baron quite fast with a Gnar, with a Lucian and a Vi. But BLG do it just as fast.
Fly vs. Lion LPL
despite
version.
having not the best comp
Low-key.
for it even. The wall is excellent, and Tarzan does smite this. What does it go to? 131. Very close. And Hope, like, I just haven't been that confident with how Hope's been playing. Breathe is also isolated. Shanks will be out here.
All right.
But Breathe is the gold lead there, and he's fighting Wenbo, who they end up killing. Hope is a large portion of the consistent damage alongside Breathe, and he's also off chasing Ghosts, which is Wenbo, who's 0-4. And the rest of the team needs to deal with the 3k lead Dog, the 2k lead Magic Thief guy, and the 1k lead...
Archaeologist.
That's right, that's right. He's got a permit, right?
He's got a permit for whatever he wants. That's exactly how we think about it, Jay.
Which
Beto,
I do not have a permit. And the 1k lead spellcaster. So I really don't like the target selection from AL in that fight. I think that they still are in this game. 2k lead is nothing to write home about just yet, but Cloud Soul is coming up soon, and I haven't been super convinced by AL's team fighting despite the fact they have more individual kills. A lot of those are on Wenbo.
Yeah, 4 of them to the T of their entire kill lead. Baron push is full throttle onto this tier 2 turret here. And with the Nivea as well, that Glacial Storm, the threat of a slow, the threat of a wall that will allow Shun to dive forward, Wenbo to get that public execution is such a daunting task to solve for AL. So they're going to give up that tier 2 turret. BLG are indexing everything into this top lane push with supers pouring in from the mid lane. You just see how difficult the range Knight brings makes solving these waves for anyone's legend. They're going to try and go off to the side against Wenbo.
Okay.
See some Cisco's on top of him. Tarzan has the GA. He doesn't care about his life. He's throwing it to the wind as
I thought he was about to make an all out.
Drop to the floor.
Didn't pull the trigger.
Nice pick found there for AL. Will stymie the rest of that Baron push.
It is just poor Wenbo yet again. But that's kind of the front-to-back style I was talking about a little bit in draft, where you just kind of have to hit the first person. If you're ulting onto the backline as Tarzan, well, the game is going to go the way we've seen so far. Shanks has the Actualizer finished. Very scary on this Rise. I'm hoping that with these, like with 3 items on Hope, going towards 4 items as well, whenever this LDR gets finished, that AL have enough damage to actually kill a meaningful target that isn't named Wenbo.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough thing to solve, right? Because Viper's so slippery at this point with how often you can get that arcane
But they've
shift
got a Vi.
You
You know, you'd hope that the comp could deal with it, but they haven't been able to at all. He's died once.
Oh my god, Olin just flashed to cancel Kyle's back. Kyle's going to have to flash now himself.
What a goat.
Shurelios was popped there by Shun to nearly get in there and find that kill on Emilio. But like you're mentioning, you know, the Vi issue, I do think at this point it's not necessarily the Vi that's the problem for Tarzan. We kind of saw that in that last fight. It's the issue you saw from draft, Jay, but I really want to praise you for it. The follow-up for AL on these cease and desists is not really that reliable because they have to go into that Anivia combo. They have to go into this Ezreal. Hope and Shanks are just not finding windows to follow Tarzan when he does click R onto the back line.
Yep, we need to hope for another Breathe masterclass around this Soul.
Yep.
Hopefully getting on his 4th item. He's basing now, so he should have it. And he does. It's actually more a reminder. I guess there is a decent amount of healing with Embesser and Nefiri, so sure. You don't really need the passive from LDR anyway, so it makes sense. But at this point, to be honest, you need to like Realm Warp in. You need to Vi ult in with Breathe on a flank, and then Realm Warp your Lucian in with the Rise, because you have to kill this Ezreal. Knight isn't, like, he might be doing a lot of damage, but he's not even getting kills. He's just putting wall down. I'm gonna slow you. I'm gonna stun you. And Viper is having an amazing performance. 5, 1, and 3. Has 4 items. He's got the pen now going into some more cooldown, like you were mentioning before. Could be that Endless Hunger, which would make him even more survivable, especially when he gets a kill. Gives him even more ability.
Guys, I need to use the bathroom.
Really
I can't hold you.
And now it's
this
really
game needs to end soon.
Because there's so much damage that they have to walk into as they face check because they have no tank.
And that Covenant Cloud Soul is the threat, but Tarzan gets stunned, vault breaking over the wall, and there's a wall to his face as well, courtesy of Knight. That's Tarzan flashing out. His GA does not get toggled, but now he has to heal up very quickly. His BLG, I don't think they care about this Baron, Jay Beto. They would much rather have the Cloud Soul if this is a true flip.
That is the smarter decision, but it's BLG. Are they ever going to shy away from a fight like this?
Good call. They're not looking to. They said Wenbo.
How quickly can Wenbo kill this dragon? Shun still. I've seen it before.
Tarzan will win it
He's
against
TPing now.
Shun, who does have to flash
He was doing it really slow.
away
Oh my
from
god,
Big
Shanks
Damage.
actualized.
Is able to
Oh.
force Knight into the egg form.
Oh, where are they
They'll
going?
knock
Oh
him
god, they have to
down.
fry them now.
This is on
Oh wait, this Ryzar might be a bit too crazy. Wait, that Ryzar might have been a bit too crazy. Hope's dead. He was one hit by the time he got there. Meganar, you've got to change something. Oh my god.
But it's too little, too late. Bye-bye, Pandas. Ace to BLG. And they'll walk up mid lane victoriously to take our game 1.
What a difficult fight from BLG. You can see how hard their comp really is to play. Knight dies instantly. So much damage coming out from
Wait,
Shanks.
did you
They
need
lose
one
the
on
Baron
kill
to the
to make a?
But, Hope is just really.
Did you need
not
one
having a
on
good
kill to
game.
make a?
Flashes, misses
That's
his
funny as
W,
hell, bro.
dies from 1 HP, and they take down
Okay,
Breathe at the
I'm gonna run
end
ads. I'll be back.
to
What a
wrap
fucking
out
legendary bet,
very
bro.
back and
BRB.
forth game number 1 of a Titanic series. At the beginning of our split 3.
Kills dead even. Nexus explosions not. BLG taking, like you mentioned, the opening round of a very important series, albeit even if it is the early in the split, for those group ascent projections. And what a game it was for Viper. Yeah, is it a shocker that I'm going to start the conversation with Viper here, Jay Beto? No, of course not. But I think he plays this Ezreal masterfully. You pointed it out. And in that last fight, we'll get a replay of it later. But, you know, those small, you know, micro decisions that buy a bit more time are so important. He always arcane. You see it every time he gets ulted. He arcane shifts. Even though he's going to get the knock up, it creates a bit more space. He's able to flash away from Breathe. And that quality time he buys is what really wins them the end of that fight there that we'll see, of course, in a little bit.
Yep. I think you've got to take a look at draft for AL. I really do. We're talking about it before. We've been talking about the whole game. Well, I think BLG's
Oh my
draft
god,
is
beautiful!
difficult because they
Please
don't have any
drain me!
engage,
Please
like,
take everything
guaranteed
I
engage.
have!
I'm always a fan of that.
Oh.
It's more simple, the better, in my opinion. And they also don't have a tank. They really need to be on point with the way they take their team fights, the way they set up their team fights. It's really difficult for AL to, on even ground, find a way in that isn't Vi basically sacrificing herself to get an engage, and even then, and if your wall and if your ult goes behind, you're zoned away. It's really hard to play against that, and that's kind of a problem when not only do you pick Riot's first pick, you're opening yourself up for these counter picks. I mean, Cass was banned, sure, but Anivia's still there. But also, you take the Vi at your 5th pick.
Yeah.
You kind of saw the entire comp face up. You knew it was coming. So, I really don't particularly understand what that's about. Great gold graph. Lovely LPL gold graph here.
Yeah?
But for me, the damage numbers aren't bad, but I think Hope needs to have a much better game in game number 2.
I don't have the facts in front of me, Jay Beto, and I'm sure there are people that will be able to fact check me. Dare I say this is the least amount of damage Knight has done in an LPL game all year?
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Not a lot of damage, but a lot of impact, I think.
Totally.
Not enough for an MVP of this game. Definitely Viper popped off.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince me.
Listen, I'm just gonna gloat. You know, it's my main and it's my boy. You know, it feels kind of poetic to me.
What do I want him playing then? I like Aphelios. I wouldn't say that's my main, but it's like one of my favorite champions. So maybe Viper, you can hit me with an Aphelios POG for game 2 or 3. We want a 3-gamer. But yeah, I think that this was a very back and forth game. I do think that this has the potential to go 3. I thought that before. I think that now. But I think that AL need to think about when they're drafting, like if you're going to draft a comp this short ranged, you need more engage. You need like a Leona or a Nautilus and like a Sivir instead of the Lucian. Because at least in that case, you're going to be able to generate prio clear waves very, very easily. You'll have a very scary late game threat, and then you'll also, I mean, maybe not Nautilus into Anivia is pretty miserable, but you know what I'm saying. Something else that allows you to get in, a Rakan maybe. If you're just allowing BLG to get this poke comp, or this range advantage comp, and you don't have a way of breaking it consistently, then you're going to find fights where you are really, really struggling to close the gap. Where, although the Anivia didn't have the best game in terms of stats, the walls are impactful. You can see right here, it forces Tarzan to use punch. That's what makes him have to go in. Then he ults in here. This is what I'm talking about. Hope and Breathe at bottom chasing a ghost. I don't understand. He's gone. He's out of the fight.
Yeah, and
I would love if Breathe was there.
Yeah, and you were talking about it, right? Like, Wenbo was so far behind at this point. The threat of an Ambessa, like, ruining a fight like this just really wasn't present there. But like you're talking about, what do we lead off this series with, Jay Bennett? What was one of the main things we pushed? Kyle back on engaged champions. Kyle back on just playmakers. If it's not going to be Rel, it's not going to be Nautilus, right? Give me a Camille. This game, you know, Shen's gotten some looks by more supports than just on this split. Something like that. It hurts me every time I have to watch Kyle play Melio. Because sure, he probably plays a great Melio, but there's only so much you can do with this champion. It's like outplay with your ult. Maybe a nice kickball. There's just not much else he can do in this game to help out his team. I just like AL when they play a lot more for Tarzan with Kyle playing the map, playing for Breathe, and putting hope on stuff like Ziggs, where he can just sit and clear waves like we've been talking about with his bot lane meta. They went away from that for this game, and you pointed out so well, it really cost them with how much their bot lane was lacking.
Yep. I would love to see, now that some of the picks that really do harm that, like the Anivia, do lock in something like the Nautilus, you know, whether it's Rel,
Yo,
Camille,
dude!
or Shen. I think that these are
Hey!
options. And
Thank you for the
places
extra
to go
20.
for
Yo,
AL.
did was that a singular bet, bruv?
So obviously they have
Nah, love,
bonus
man.
selection here
Love,
in
love,
the
love,
next
love, love.
game. So whether or not they want to take the first pick,
Love,
again,
love,
I
love, 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 bro.
have been of the opinion that BLG are a really big fan of second pick, and I still think
He's
that
been
giving
shafted
it to them
potentially?
sometimes,
No way.
I've been incorrect. It goes to Shun.
No, man.
He did damage.
Shun?
He won, but they're saying it lost.
This
How can they
guy?
say it lost? It literally happened.
I mean, no
How-
this on him, right?
How can if it's the course of one game and all he needed is one kill in the game, how can they say it lost? Yeah. Get your shit, bro. No way they can't. There's no way they can do that to you. Yo, I opened Twitter. It's the picture of Azael and his family at the LCS studio. And then I was just scrolling the comments because the quote retweet on it was so sad. Something like this simply is not allowed at the LEC studio, and I guess it's just illegal to bring kids to the LEC studio for whatever reason. And then someone replied, "Which is good. KC fans would eat the baby." Come on, bro. Like, what are we saying? Fuck. I know I just skipped Sunshine, but sorry. You know that Top Gear India special where they build the rocket at the party thing? Those guys build that and launch it at the baby. Come on, bro. Stop. Why is Elk in Nirvana? Did you not see what happened at the end of playoffs last year, bro? Sorry, last split. Bro, do you not know who's in Nirvana group? Bro, IG and Weibo are in Nirvana group, bro. NIP as well, also lost. So IG got 3-0'd by TT. NIP lost 3-2 to EDG, and Weibo lost 3-2 to LGD. Yeah, hopefully they sort you, bro. Genuinely, because like that's a sheg. That's a complete sheg, brother. You know what? No, I should have done CBLOL yesterday as well. CBLOL apparently, well, I say apparently, CBLOL had like probable top 4 playing, I think.
Inshallah.
What's the record for most gifted by a Prime sub, you reckon? I wouldn't be able to tell you. Thank you for the 2 months, though. Bro, it's crazy. You've subbed... hold on. Been following, I think, since I did the EWC calls, right? Sub 2 months? Yeah, I guess that lines up. I found knows how many things you've tapped in. Sorry, joined a bit late. Who's Wembo? How did you think he did in that last game? So Wembo is, I want to say, their junior, typically their junior top laner. The reason why he's playing is because Bin, there are potential issues with Bin, shall we say. And so Wembo's in, and I think he's doing okay. Like, he's doing his job. He's not hard losing. He's not hard winning. He's not been a detriment to game states from the BLG games that I've watched so far. Yeah. I want to beat the record, but also don't want to keep giving money to Twitch next to the straight PayPal donor. Oh, you know what? Hold on that though, because I need to change the PayPal that's linked, because I've been paid, basically Twitch pays me via PayPal, because that's just how I set it up years ago, but like on this account before I had a bank account when I was like 18 or 17, sorry. And so this year I've been gifted so many subs occasionally that PayPal wants to deactivate my account. So I kind of need to change all of the payment stuff to go to either my bank directly or something else. Otherwise, they will nuke my PayPal account, which I would ideally not like to happen. Do I think his replacement will keep BLG in the top 3? I think comically, with the way that the meta has ever so slightly shifted away from raw carry tops, it doesn't really matter. As long as the top laner is consistent, I think that's fine. Just Stream Elements tip page or something. I've just got to figure it out. Like, I've literally just got to sit down and figure it out. And it's like annoying as shit because I'm doing everything right. Who's bad? No, I'm bad. I'm bound. Yeah, I don't think it will matter though. Sorry, I don't know. I think I might have trailed off on that last thought about BLG being top 3. Like, they'll still be top 3. Let it happen. Oh, here we go, draft.
We'll look out for it here as we dive headfirst in to our second draft of the series. And app description there from you, Jay Beto.
Oh, let me move my camera up.
Pick for good old Kyle. Not seeing a Camille ban come up just yet. For BLG, they're kind of daring AL to ban it away is what this screams out to me. And they won't. So is On just going to jump right on top of
it's
one of the
time.
most we have right now in the meta.
Oh, I like this. Just take Lee Sin and then just take whatever the other half of the mage.
These teams think that Camille is a second, like a
no,
red
they
side
don't.
ban,
I think
sorry,
I think
blue
the
side
idea
ban,
is just that
because if you pick Camille early, you can go Shen or Rel into it. And
not even that. I actually think Leona is the slightly better pick. Even.
So we could see AL just pick the Camille.
I think Leona is a great answer. So I think now if BLG goes Ziggs,
the fact that they banned it in game 1
really?
from blue side, and now aren't banning it on red side.
Are they going to go Camille or?
That they have an answer to it.
Because now here's the problem: if you don't go Camille,
Skarner picked up into the Lee Sin, which is Lee Sin is going to have a lot more priority through the early game.
I guess maybe you could be happy,
really
like if you go Ziggs
and disrupt
and then BLG go Camille. Oh, they're going to go Victor.
It will be the Victor this time.
This is also fine.
Likely.
Yeah, because I think AL want BLG to go Ziggs Camille, which is very likely. And then
And there's
Kaya
still
will go
plenty of
Leona.
things, right? You can go
That's what I
Fanny
think
would
is going
be
to
the
happen.
one that really pops into my head. I would like to see from Knight. He's great on that champion. Or again, you could go bot side.
Can always go bot side, without a doubt. AL, I wonder, with Rumble
Let's see,
not being
though.
banned, I'm curious if Breathe just
Ooh,
slams
topside
this,
draft?
because you talked about the synergy of Skarner and Victor. Imagine the chaos.
Well, Orion and
of,
Cassio are down.
Gravity field.
Akali.
You bring him over with the skewer.
Nice.
And then you
So
put
now
on the
they can put the
equalizer.
Akali into
BLG
Victor.
This is classic BLG here, Jay Beto, isn't it? We are going to pick
Yeah.
a bunch of early game lane dominant champions and look to kind of just run you over. Maybe a little not as early game for Knight, but once Akali gets level 6,
Because I'm going to assume that Viper
this is fun. BLG are definitely
Viper
playing
can play this
confident
Akali.
with this draft.
So can I cope and say one of these is maybe ADC? Can we have ADC Jace or Akali, please?
We could.
It could
Hey,
be
look!
it could be Victor ADC too. Victor Shen bot lane,
There's a
maybe.
Shen. Yeah.
There's the
you know,
Shen.
what's the saying? The world is your oyster. The bot lane is your oyster.
what do you think of
Jay
Doran's
Beto.
performance
Do
at MSI and
whatever
EWC?
you like with it, my
Didn't
friend.
hear you guys talk about T1 in the last
And I'm
podcast.
right
Thoughts on T1 in
until
general? I reckon
I'm
they
proven wrong.
have the best
It's
bot lane
like
in the world at the
Stranger's
moment.
bot lane. It's
Paze and
it's
Carrier
like the
are
bot
in
lane
prison.
until
I think
choose
Paze
not,
is in prison.
and I will live on that. There's the Camille
I'm
ban.
not super bought into the narrative
They're
that
wanting
Carrier's
to
in
get
prison.
The Shen side of the matchup, and then
I think it's one of those
wanna
things
give
where, like,
over
if
the
he was
Camille.
giving out
I
sentences, you
still
know,
think
like
BLG should be looking for some
Doran
kind
is
of
getting
engage.
20
I
to
don't
life.
really want an enchanter
Owner
bot
is
lane
getting
anymore, and
5
I
to 10
don't
years.
like the ones
Faker's
left.
getting about
I
5
don't
years.
like Yunara
And then
Lulu
Carrier's
these
getting like a
days.
2-year
Cosmo Lulu
like a
is not
2-year
bad
sentence that's
into the
suspended.
Skarner. I don't mind that. But with Milio gone,
It's like it's
nothing else
suspended and he
can,
gets to be on tag for 2
pull
years.
you out of the Skarner ult or cancel his engage, I believe. I guess you could polymorph him.
And if he reoffends, he has
but
to
still, I don't really
he has
wanna
to
see
go back
Lulu.
and serve the rest of the sentence.
I could see it from AL if they didn't want to go the Shen, or if it's
Yeah, I
Shen
think
top because
I
it's
think just
great
by
for
general
Brazilian
kind of standards,
and
he's been
Lu-
poor, not just
sorry,
by his own.
Lee Sin could be an
Um,
option, but BLG right
but
now just
I think
banning
Paze
away
is
some of
by
these
far and away maybe
more
individually the
major
best performing
Sintra
AD.
Obviously still a flex. The Ziggs goes in the bot lane, and last ban I would imagine is also a bot lane. This is a Siva we were talking
Like in the
about a little
world.
bit
Like I'll stand on that opinion, by the
Yeah.
way.
And then what
I
that
think
says to
all
me
of the
is
other
they've
elite
guarded the two safest
tier
players
AD carries in the
you gotta
world
go for, we think about,
have
right?
been
He's got the Zig,
kind of
you
playing
think
whatever
about
to
mages,
just
and
kind
then
of
the Sivir,
consistently
wave
good.
clear, play lane pretty passively.
But Paze has been
Be able to
playing at like a
save.
10.
We'll have to see.
Ooh.
It looks like they are saving that counter pick with these
Yorick.
hovers for Hope's champion, which would be pretty intriguing. The
Well,
Rumble we
if
kinda
Breve
touched
goes
on,
Yorick,
really
which he
really
won't,
pretty fun
he will.
combo, But
Now this
Breve
Jace is just going to get flexed.
opt for the Yorick. Intriguing. It feels like they've drafted pretty
They will
hard
move
for
this
the
Jace
team
out of top,
fight
by
with
the way, I
Victor,
think.
and the Skarner, and now they're going
Yeah.
to look to play the map a bit more.
I think the Olaf consideration is pretty decent because BLG don't have a lot of consistent damage at the moment. So the Olaf
Reckon
is
T1
very
could pick up
unchecked.
another
They
top, not
don't have
trolling,
the
but what
chance to
about
go with
perfect?
The Olaf,
Brother.
and BLG still have the chance to go a consistent
They are
bot
not.
lane that can chew through the Olaf, and it'll start with this Nautilus lane that can be very, very aggressive, and it will just be the Yorick into the Jace.
Oh, they're going to tank the bad
which is a
matchups, really?
Very standard counter we've seen a lot of times this year. Kai'Sa, a champion that we haven't seen too much of, and
This would be a
really
treat, though.
struggles into Victor. Please. Please.
Ooh,
Please.
This would mean J spot, I would assume, right?
Yes!
Okay, so all right.
Lovely.
Viper very likely to be playing Jace Nautilus unless something crazy is going on. Another big spot for Wenbo though, Jay Beto.
Well, I mean, what's really funny is
Weak
Jace
siders, he
and
played
Akali
tanks
can
early on
flex
in his
bot and
free
mid
tenure.
because Victor's
Now
in the
he's
game.
got the Ambessa, which fell flat.
So
and
actually, what's going to end up happening here, I think, is that
bigger
Akali
task
is going to
this
follow.
led to be the late game insurance policy.
Yeah, so
Hold on,
they'll put Akali
really
into
the
Victor.
Victor bot. This could be a Akali bot lane. I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's a Akali
This
bot.
is this
I
is
don't
Akali
think it's
into
Jace.
Victor
I think
and,
it's Akali bot into Victor
and Jace
because
into Galio. I'm
that's
getting a
what,
phone call from a number I don't
um,
recognize. 1 second.
Although Akali, like Knight Akali's great, he'd have to play Jace. That's questionable. We'll have to see. I think it makes the most sense because.
We're getting one more swap. There
Hang
it
on.
is.
Okay.
I think
I'm just-
I was
What is
looking
going
at
on
the
in the
BLG
AL
side.
side?
Yeah, I was looking at BLG side. You got AL side. I'm leaving that to you, Jay Beto. You figure that one out. Oh.
Guys, come on. There we go.
All right.
All right. I like maybe Knight. Oh, there we go. They swapped. It is
Were
the
they
Akali
were
bot.
Wait, were they waiting to see the AL swaps? And then they... Wow, okay, this is crazy. So... And now the draft's gone. All right, so we're getting the Viper Akali in the crowd. The crowd is going as crazy as I'm sure we are, and confident the Twitch chat is. We're getting something special for Game 2, BLG AL, and Jay Beto, good luck to you to tell me exactly how the hell things are going to go on here in this game.
So, I got you, don't worry. I've actually been thinking about this. I can't remember who played it. I think it was the LEC played this.
It was Supa for MKOI,
yes,
correct?
It was MKOI and G2. The reason that this works is because when mages are picked in bot lane, the idea is that we've been talking about this, right? The supports roam, they leave, and impact the rest of the map. The idea is that you link up with your jungler, you invade, you potentially, or ideally have pushing lanes, and the ability to, invade. And it becomes a solo lane. Akali, really good in the solo lane against the Victor specifically.
All right, let's get those Gyos ready for a wacky Game 2. All right. Our crowd fired up and intrigued to see these one-of-a-kind lane matchups as Kyle already getting into that River Shen bag we wanted to see him with. Level 1 forces a Night Flash.
Yep. Not the best. Is that first time LPL? Someone will have to... But I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't see a date, which
neither do I.
makes me assume that you are correct, but we, of course, will get fact-checked, as I always am when I think that something is a first time or a lowest damage number on Knight. By the way, if anyone was still curious, that 14.2k Nivea performance from Knight was not anywhere close to his lowest damage number of the year so far. So, shout out Alk Battery on the production after his cast. What a trooper. Fact-checking me on that one. Let's take a look at these clears, though, because that's the only thing I feel consistent and confident to talk about, Jay Beto, with this game state. Both Lee Sin and Skarner clearing top down and likely to get active on the map. Ishtal's Impact, Lee Sin, two champions that will definitely look to create some interesting scenarios in lanes with their gank ability. And hey, we're seeing Tarzan already actually going to skip going down to his lower quadrant to look to punish Wenbo, who is flashless, by the way. He gets trapped in the dark procession, has the passive fully stacked up, does have the Ignite as well. Ishtal's Impact going to throw the stun into the wall. Breathe being a bit cautious as the full passive will come down here from Wenbo. Not going to use the Ignite, though he gets Tarzan close to death. And it's Tarzan that picks up first blood, skipping his full clear.
Very close, but...
One's turn.
Yep.
Talk going to
land
land
the 2026 support, huh?
Dredge line, Enhanced Shock Blast, and Galio's going to shrug it off. Not enough damage. My supports are all over the place. Kyle is trying to defend Shun from stealing the blue buff away from Tarzan. A valiant effort, my friend, but the blue buff will be taken away regardless. So the one shining light here for BLG is that Shun is likely to triple buff up on his clear.
Yeah. I like that the... Oh, hang on.
Ishtal's Impact. Oh my god. And the flash taunt is beautiful from Kyle. The full lockdown. Tarzan's going to flash over the wall to follow Shun and Tarzan. He may be on the tank Skarner, but he's still getting fed in the early game. 2-0 before we even crest 3.5 minutes.
Wow. What a really creative start from AL. Lee Sin is going to have the upper hand in an invade situation against the Skarner. So what does Tarzan do? He skips some camps in bot side, goes top, gets the early kill, then comes down bot, links up with his team, and then pushes Shun out when he's got the extra advantage there, and ends up in 4 minutes with a 750 gold lead. Very aggressive start. Nice hook from On, but it'll just be a little bit of damage. I'm sure Viper needs time in this lane. Call me crazy, but I haven't seen too many Akali ADC into Victors, but I have seen it in the mid lane, and I know that early game, this lane is pretty tough, but doing pretty well on the CS. Now, I was having a look, because I wasn't quite sure. Knight's Jace is not something that is like a pick that I really relate to him with, and I was having a look, and he's played it twice in the last 2 years, so it isn't something he plays frequently, but historically, he has 36 games with a 75% win rate. Now, he is a very winning player in general, So that is not surprising, but it hasn't played it in a while.
It's been a long time. Gotta
in the LPL.
Rush back up on the combos, but like you mentioned, if we're gonna trust anybody to just bring out an oldie, it's gonna be Knight. It's gonna be the golden left hand. Him and Viper holding on to a slight gold lead of their own, but of course Tarzan is just blitzing Shun in the gold department so far here, nearly up 800 by this point. And you know, it's not a snowbally champion like your carry junglers, Kiana, Nafiri, but Jay Beto, there is always innate value in getting this far ahead.
Okay.
You might get even more fed here. As
That was
really
my
committed to staying in this
that was my
river.
uncle,
Justice Punch is going to land into the taunt combination,
which then turned. Oh my
flash,
god! It's a complete fist fight.
Slam down comes across for On. There's the
And it was you know when you get a call from a family member and then they're with loads of other family members.
Should try and get onto Shakes, but Shakes is out. No problem though for BLG because Viper's
That's exactly what it was. Anyways,
Kyle.
how correct was I about Victor just getting followed by the Akali?
As BLG get on the board.
I mean, it was a pretty easy read.
Very nice punch back. AL still with the kill lead. 3-0 on the Skarner. Now, not a champion who necessarily loves gold, but getting those tank stats on early makes it even harder for the long skirmishes to be won by BLG. And if you take a look at their comp, outside of Gwen, it's burst damage. It is a Jace and an Akali and a Lee Sin, who are
so I'm not gonna lie, this AL comp is really tanky as the game goes on.
Taking down things like Yorick, things like Skarner, and
I'm
things
a bit
like Galio,
concerned about how BLG's comp is going to do besides Gwen.
You're going to need to do a lot of heavy lifting in the consistent damage and tank damage category, because otherwise AL have consistent damage with the Victor. They have a lot of frontline to keep Victor alive. That's kind of how their comp works, right? It's a lot about, can you keep this Victor alive, or can the Akali, the Jace, the Gwen poke you down first with the Jace and then get onto you with the Lee Sin and take down this Victor?
It's a lot of pressure, like we talked about, on Wenbo, who's been thrust into the spotlight due to, you know, the out of the game issues that BLG have had.
Inshallah.
That MSI loss.
Salvation, thanks so much for the 7 in a row and the 10 months in total, brother.
That's how you're painting the picture to me,
If Focus gives more gold and more XP since supports room, is that just better for mid and top champs? So AD champs can be slotted top if needed.
He's going to pick up another
Well, I guess the problem for AD champs in top and mid is that the quest doesn't really do anything for them.
Well, Viper is caught. Hope trying to go in for a warding mission. He's got that perfect execution.
Those plants weren't there.
Dash away from Kyle instead of trying to find that kill onto Hope.
I mean, I think the thing is that other champs scale better off gold than they do.
Yeah, not confident that that damage would have killed, and then the taunt was there.
I think honestly what they need to do with the quest is if this gets to a point where they genuinely have to kill mages. What?
It's a very smart draft.
Which again, I really want to make clear, Riot's general stance on diversity is that this is a good thing. By the way, I really want to make this clear.
Lane is not going to go easily right now. Definitely going to take some time to
if they were being consistent, and obviously their opinions and stances as game developers and balances of this game can change, but if they were being consistent to like previous states of the game, this would be a positive. I think, however, if they want to fix this, they should make it so that,
if this does work out,
and this is a bit tricky,
very smart drafting.
They need to change crit items so that they dare I say, I think they have to give 20% crit again.
Game analysis, like,
but then the quest has to give you crit and crit scaling. And then that will fuck off a couple of champions, like Ezreal might be a bit homeless, but just figure it out. Non-crit champs might be a bit shagged, but just figure it out.
Kyle's gonna shadow dash, and Knight's gonna respect that.
Just figure it out, you know.
Commit that flash. So virtually on cooldown has been Knight's flash, yet to be really well punished by AL.
Does really strong armor certain now. That is if they want AD carries that crit in bot, then that's what they need to do.
Objectives. We waited a while again on that first dragon. It's a second game in a row here, Jay Beto.
That would be one of my initial immediate ideas.
Where Tarzan, uncontested, picks up all 3 for his squad, and In a game with a York like you've been talking about, nobody's smiling wider ear to ear than Breathe.
Yeah, both teams happy to get the grubs, but
I'm not saying
AL
that out
much
loud, but that's
happier,
funny
I
as shit.
think, than just a Gwen with 3 grubs. Yara can do some serious damage in a side lane, and Galio isn't a slouch either. They've already
I always talk about the reason why ADC is being seen less bot is because the health regen of ADCs has been rescinded. I also mentioned this the other day on stream, actually. I said if they wanted to band-aid this temporarily just to see how it would work, they should give AD carries back regen. Because for those who don't know, AD carry regen right now, I think, is literally, on average, it's a 1 health per second. By the way, AD carry health regen is 1 health per second on average. It's anchored around there for sure. Yes, go and look at AD carry health regen.
Not really
it's comically low. I can't remember what the reason was why they changed it to that. But they actually need to. They given what's going on right now, I think they should maybe lift that change.
So another game where Tarzan gets
it's probably ADC's top, maybe.
And all 3 sets of grubs.
No, it wasn't ADC's top even, because they did it to the whole class.
Virtually the same time on the clock, 11 minutes. So delayed.
But I mean, if that's the case, just like any of the ADs that are getting played in solo lane, just keep their health regen low. Like just keep just keep Varus' health regen low. He can play poke bot. Like fuck it.
Like you said,
Vayne, just make it a part of the, you know.
Which I don't think anyone's too.
Maybe give her health back on silver bolt procs or something. You know what I mean? Like just fucking get creative and figure it out. Just like there are so many ways to do it. Just
the bot lane. So is Tarzan.
Oh, they're going in.
I think it's Flash.
Just sort it out.
IL overstepped just a bit, and Viper threatening that perfect execution once more. Can use it just to thin out this wave.
Sounds like a decent change. I think Ezreal has also been strong for a while, so it's okay for him to be gone for a bit. Yeah, plus, I mean, we have Dragdar, so Dragdar will figure out what's good on the champ anyway. Shout out Dragdar, man. Hashtag Black Brown Solidarity.
Just close.
Just don't give catch-up XP to support Andes.
Nothing too crazy though.
No, but the problem with killing catch-up XP is what about like real-world scenarios in solo queue where like a support DCs and then like, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to account for these things.
BLG are not that great at taking them down. Haven't seen too much.
Like catch-up XP broadly is needed, whether we want it or not.
Objectives just yet. It's only 4 kills.
Just make supports buy sight stones and vision wards again. I mean, personally, I agree. I think the issue with what makes support so broken right now is they have a lot of innate early gold gen. Their items are cheap. They're very efficient at what they do. I think we need to go back to making supports have to choose between vision control and strong items. I think that would really anchor the role appropriately, considering that, especially in this meta, they get to just operate as a secondary jungler. You know, like,
really good drafting again from
they're sort of just allowed to do that.
If they are comfortable on these picks, hypothetically, which we know that Knight is comfortable on the Jace, and
yeah, I agree. Lock vision behind gold
on any of these picks right now.
Oh my god, the legendary Jolly Man.
I think that this comp is really intelligent.
He's blessing my chat.
Something that they've been practicing. It's a very interesting way that the meta has gone, because it's kind of like ADCs that have mage-like functions, or hang on, drive into the wall.
I'm gonna flash. No, with the threat of an impale and the gravity field down there. We're still 2 minutes away from the next Drake of the game, so. It's a win. Obviously, get the flash off of on, but it's not going to cost them any space at the current moment, any warding quests at this point. There's a lollipop dredge line onto Kyle. Immediately forces out the heroic charge forward, but Shun goes in audaciously, and AO will punish accordingly.
Is one of the issues, if not the most major issue, that the ADCs suck early and therefore need their support by their side? Different issues also weaken early skirmishes compared to mages. We have support not being penalized for roaming. If one picks Ziggs plus Camille,
not Knight,
fair enough.
Viper
Also
on
just
Akali is
yeah, I
in
mean
mid lane
that is the
against
entire crux of the issue, right? Like
Hope on Victor, who is in mid lane.
basically skirmishing and being there, especially for your jungler, is very very important for the meta. So having supports that can just leave lane are really good, and then that turns into, well, if my bot laner is alone, I need them on a champ where they can not be punished for being alone. And so now that everyone's looking in mages, because most mages can't be punished as hard in side lane early on like
there
this.
is so much peel on this team. There's a lot of members down here in the bot lane. Can you dive this?
Dreadsign's not going to land, but the Sonic Wave will come through, and the flash insect kick is pristine from Shun. The Stand Unite will not come in time.
Why do you think Genji has been so relatively bad this season compared to how dominant they were last? Is it because of Dura not carrying his weight, given the importance to support ATM? I think that's a part of it, but like in general, I think they're all collectively just playing worse.
Oh. Well, it's a kill.
It's something. It helps, but yeah, you'd love it on Knight. The thing is that Shun is still 1k behind. Breathe is... this counter is not working so far, like this.
Wait, really, Bell Bites? Also, why are you on...
So
did you swap over to YouTube? I guess you just swapped over to YouTube, but that's weird.
Wenbo going forward with the needlework, maybe a bit early here. Kyle's gonna
also, I don't know why that message got deleted, unless you deleted it yourself.
And they will find that kill. Knight TP's in and just goes after the maiden.
Playing worse how? Just, like...
Wenbo
they're not as consistent, bro. Like, their mechanical floor is lower.
Time for his team.
Their ceiling feels lower.
Nice, a chunk down. The ult and the Qs did a lot of damage, but he takes so much from Yorick.
Yeah, the Korean government came and taxed Ruler of his talent as well as his money.
Kyle, like there is CC there too, but it's so difficult to fight Yorick with ult, with Yorick's ult, like with Maiden and a bunch of little grubbies, little ghouls. And he's 1500 up. Regardless of how I feel about the rest of the comp or any other gold leads, however much I can say, Skarner with a gold lead, not super scary compared to some others. You know, it could be a Kiana. This is a Yorick with 3 grubs and a 1600 gold lead against a player that is not a top 3 top laner in the world. I am not confident that Wenbo is going to be able to turn this around in the lane specifically. And it's becoming a pretty decent issue that I don't know how BLG are going to deal with.
Whoa.
Depth charge onto Kyle, followed up by a Dreadsign's.
Oh.
Nice little use
terrain.
of terrain, though, for Kyle, so doesn't fully commit.
Chovy still best mid in LCK, or would you put Zeka?
Dragon is up. Doesn't feel like either team cares a lot. We saw that Wenbo died on that top side 19.
Can I cheat and just say that I think they're as good as each other? ATM?
Really go after it. What I will
I mean,
say Tarzan, when speaking on those gold leads,
like, gun to my head, I have to pick. I think
facade
right now, this frame,
so Viper and Wenbo are,
it's
probably
probably still Chovy, just because you have to play some weird shit every now and again in mid, I think.
Yep.
But
from on
I don't know. I think it's
to help down here as Tarzan might
tough.
start up this dragon or might just look for.
I'd say they're even first before I have to pick between one.
Wenbo's low health bar and On is staying down there to cover.
Didn't up my map one
AL won't end
bit.
up going
They
for the
just
dive
paid.
at all. This allows Shun to go
what?
for the Herald on the top side if he wants to, and he will do so.
What?
So it's just, pardon me, just going to be a
Yo, they hate your
Dragon
ass,
to
bro.
Herald trade, and we get to see what soul it is. If it's Mountain Soul, I think the game is a lot harder. Obviously, if it's like an Infernal Soul,
Yeah, he really is the jack of all trades, but like, bro, he's jack of all trades, and
given over to Drakes. I think if it's Ocean
low-key,
Soul,
he's very close to feeling like a master of a
it's
lot.
not as bad.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think this game, you really want to be down 2 souls against this tanky comp. Like, it's really hard to take down.
Aye.
We'll see if Tarzan can take down On and Wenbo, who are already hurting, thanks to Breathe, who is healing up very easily on the wave. TPs are
Wenbo had to ult the
across.
wave.
That's going to be Viper coming down.
They're just
as
gonna let it
Kyle
slide
uses
now 'cause the
Stand
TP's
United
here.
to threaten that dive.
Just take mid tower,
Nail
shift
will
back
take the
over.
win
It's
of getting
good.
that coveted TP off of one of the BLG members.
Well, the good news, or a little bit of good news, I guess, for
Uh-oh.
BLG.
Oh,
is that-
Viper.
Oh, this isn't good news.
No, he's going to have to flash the Shadow Dash and go into the Shroud. Really
Not
just
bad.
seeing, he was just bloodthirsty. He wanted to try and kill off Breathe.
Oh!
He will almost casually kill off Shanks,
Wow.
who is, you know, not done a great
Well.
job of matching into Knight. The leaving Knight alone fallacy ends up biting AL.
Yeah,
This Knight guy's pretty good at this Jace champ, you know.
Another aspect of where the drafting is very smart from BLG, because yeah, while the comp is tanky, like
PayPal or
Galio
gift subs? For the time being, like today, bro, it's just gift subs.
Then he has MR directly
If you're feeling generous, it's just gift subs. I need to sort out my PayPal stuff.
Does have the only lead
so that
his team.
The few people that, because I don't get donos often, but for the people that do actually want to dono, then that's wild.
Nose is a pretty easy.
Do I think they'll keep mages for Worlds? Oh, now that's a tough question. That I don't know.
Very nice, well played there from Knight.
That I don't know, and I think they'll kill it before Worlds. Depends on how good T1 is at mages, but holy fucking base dancer.
Stopping Breathe from touching that turret for quite a while there with On down the bottom, so he hasn't actually extended his gold lead at all.
Oh my god, beautiful! Please drain me!
Thank you for the another 25, bro. Love.
I was worried this is going to be a massive problem. The biggest
love. Hopefully that sniped a few regalos. It did. Gianni. JK Bowling's in here every now and again. Gebby. Deeds. Snow. Yeah, that sniped a good couple people, bro.
Akali does super well, and we know that Jace is countered by Yorick.
There's literally no way people hate Mage's bot. Okay, I don't inherently think that they hate Mage's bot. I think what they hate is the meta that it then enables.
Viper gets caught here too, not in impale range.
I think people don't.
You know, I'll take that one step further.
Excuse me. What I believe is that. Oh, we're not gonna get impaled. Okay. What I believe is that every lane, like laners, are big baby bitches, myself included to a degree, right? When they think about the fantasy of playing out their lane, they think about the head-to-head, always. So anytime that there is outside intervention, a la roams, jungle ganks, they hate it. They absolutely despise it. And so that's where I think the disdain from Mage's bot comes from, because it's the root of the issue.
Calling for Flandre to come back. What better game than to keep the series alive against the two-time champions?
Good dash.
Gonna dodge out on that Ishtal's impact, but Tarzan was much more viewing of the turret. He is going to get jumped on by Knight here. Shun's looking for a way in, but he just walks into a taunt and a shadow dash, and Shun goes down. Viper now looking for a way in as the flashes come forward from all. They're trying to compact AL.
I mean, Viper's just not dealing damage to these guys, man.
Against the wall. Hero's entrance is going to come out here from Shakes, and
I just don't think it's playable.
He just
Victor wasn't even here.
Kills, and Knight can't get through Tarzan's health bar. AL stand tall, stacked as 5. And find some coveted
I really think
what's
Viper's build? I think Viper needs like the oh my god, he's gone Gunblade Rocket Belt into these champs. Are you high? Brother, you need like Rift Maker, arguably even fucking just go Leandries, Bloodletters. Your items need to deal damage to these champions, bro. Because your kit will not.
Viper has to go in after Shun dies.
Oh,
this is an Akali. There's no Victor here to do damage. If he was here, maybe Viper can get a kill, and even then, you probably still lose because Wenbo needs time. He needs a lot more items. He needs more levels, and needs to be hitting these, you know, stacked Qs, I should say.
Right.
Because otherwise, you're just not going to be able to chew through the comp of AL with an Akali and a Jace. Actually, Jace has LDR. Maybe.
You know, the one guy we also haven't talked about is a pretty hard game for is Shun. He's going to hop in the driver's seat and...
Controversial question, maybe? What's up?
Drive away from AL. That's going to be a virtually useless Herald. BLG were trying to use it to jockey for control around the Drake pit, and they fail at that. AL will now set their sights on Ocean Soul Point, which BLG look content giving away.
Yeah, my worry is that if you do give over Ocean Soul eventually, which BLG still have the chance of 5 minutes to
is
fight
like
for,
the Ocean Soul from hell.
Ocean Soul is the best in long fights.
This
when you're
might
hitting a lot of people.
unironically be the best soul that AL could have rolled.
And when you're not getting one shot. Hope is the only person.
But yeah, no, I'm
that's
gonna be doing
potential to get
LPL
one shot, and he hasn't dived.
co-streams more
There's
regularly.
been
Just
seen
like
one all-in
the
from
series
Viper,
that
and it
are
didn't
good,
work out because Kyle
like
was
on
there,
paper.
Viper wasn't
I'm not
convinced
gonna
by his
cover all of
damage.
it like how like maybe Aragon
fair enough,
does or
But if
Nymera.
Ocean Cell does go over,
I will watch
I
the
don't
games,
see
but
how
I'll do
any
that
of
in my own
AL
time.
die because maybe 6 items.
About Riot
from
making
point
changes that
when does
benefit
something,
T1
but
at key
right
points
now,
in the season.
They're just putting little chips
No, I
in
think
AL,
it's
and
I
they
think it's
need to
just
be taking out
tinfoil hat.
massive chunks.
It is funny that it happens
It's
consistently,
still
but I
gonna
don't
be
think it's
much harder
intentional.
to do that. And part of it, I think, to give credit to AL's drafting, is the man you're seeing on your screen, Shun. This feels like one of the roughest games to play Lee Sin. You talk about Hope, that's really I feel like the only kick target. Anyone else you're kind of kicking back into BLG, low-key AL want you to throw them into your team, to be honest with you. Skarner.
Yeah.
I don't even think you look for
Galio,
insects anymore. Like you just
Yorick
look for
even, like, I don't think
largest
he's that
knock-up
perturbed
possible.
if he gets kicked into it. And we've seen Shun kind of try and go in for that classic Lee Sin play in 2 separate fights and just get blown up without even getting a kickoff. It's been a rough one for Shun to navigate.
Yeah, exactly. Even then, even if you can't find a kick, you go in, you die.
Well, I don't know
Because
what goes on
there's
that stream because I don't be
Skarner
watching.
drive, an impale, a taunt from Galio, a taunt from Shen. The Galio
But like Heike, they
knock-up.
do need it
It's-
because they've been
the
shagged
gravity-
like
well,
perma
it's
since they
really
moved to
not
Berlin. So I hear
optimal
it.
for Shun to play these fights at all. I mean, Lee Sin's a tough champion to play regardless in pro. The longer the game goes, for sure. He's much more an early game slanted champion unless you're
I've been a lot more blessed.
Canyon. Shun's a great
So like
champion
Heike, I
too,
do need
but
to start begging because
you
it
really
works.
need
Like
to
on the
find
average person,
creative kick angles.
like calls to
which
action.
Teams
Calls
are
to
very
action
great
work.
for. And like you
If
said,
I run ads,
there
but
is
before I
one
run
target.
ads,
You
I
are
actually
not
say like the whole like
Skarner into
spiel
your
that a lot of the
team.
other
He is
co-streamers
not
do.
dying. He is
Where I'm like,
killing
oh
them
hey, by the
race,
way,
taking back.
if you have Prime, you can avoid ads. Da
Your
da da da
entire
da.
team
Like
has
I'll
to go
probably
snap
fish like a couple of
for
extra
his
subs every
Victor,
day.
who is now untouched. But we'll see. Maybe Viper can find him easily. Nice still has this big lead. We've still got
Yeah, I mean the
2.5
worst thing
minutes
to ever
on
happen
Dragons,
was
so there
just
are-
LPL English getting
there
nuked,
are
like the
lane
official,
divisions
obviously.
for
There is
BLG,
this broadcast that we're
being that,
watching,
you
which
know, you
is
find
you know,
Viper,
the
you
volunteer
get enough
broadcast,
damage
but
on
like
sorry, you find Hope.
the fact that
with
there's
Viper,
no
you get enough damage
official
on
English
Wenbo to
coverage
take down the
of
tanks, and you
one
can
of
get
the
Baron on
traditional
great
Big
fights
Four
and
leagues is
Sol, but
crazy.
These options are becoming a
No
little
international coverage is insane, bro.
Slimmer and slimmer as the minutes go by, and anyone's legend get tankier by that same stature. 2,000 gold lead isn't huge, but it's what's in 2 minutes that feels pretty daunting. It's that Ocean Soul that'll be up, and AL have already set up some pretty good vision lines around the Baron pit.
Like,
BLG are
my
starting
view on
to
it has
kind
always
of
been this,
siphon
like,
into
my
just the
content is
lane
free.
tunnels,
By turning on my
essentially,
stream,
and
the
finding it hard
existence
to
of my stream
look
is
for some of those
free.
playmaking maneuvers,
And if you would like
side
to
lane
give me
picks
money
that
because you
potentially,
enjoy
open up
the
more
experience
goals
of
for
chilling
guys
out
like
and listening to
Viper
my
or
takes or
Knights,
engaging in the
it's getting
community,
harder and harder. The options
then
to
do
get
that.
back into this game
You know what I mean?
continue
Like,
to dim.
I'm not going to say no to free money. If you have money sitting around and you feel like you want to give it to me, obviously, I'm not going to say no to that, bro.
Still a minute and a half.
And at the end of the day, it also,
Wenbo working on
obviously, it
some
helps
pen.
me
He really
stay
wants to
doing this for a
see,
little bit longer, because I don't know how long I'm
what
going to
his
do this
job
for.
is. Has those 2 items completed already? Let's see. if
Like,
he
I should
can
probably be doing something else to
finish
make
the
more
pen. I don't
money.
think he can finish the full thing, but having the blighting jewel.
Because in the
is a
grand
big
scheme of things,
start.
I'm not really making enough money to justify
Is this possible?
doing this for a crazy amount of
this
time
fair?
longer.
I mean, his health
Ooh,
bar is
is
not
this-
really going down. He got through maybe half the Baron on his own. Now Breeze here with the ghouls and the maiden, so that Baron
Damage.
is getting chopped up rapidly. Shovel swing by shovel swing.
this-
Here comes BLG. On's gonna hit the depth charge into the wall and immediately get taunted. He's gonna flash out of the gravity well.
can't be
Tarzan
legal.
looking to chase down. On is out. Wembo on the front line, trying to burn through these tanks with that needlework. Shun doesn't find a
Oh,
kick angle.
good night, Viper.
Hero's entrance comes down, and they pounce on Viper, who gets caught going forward. And that's the one pick.
What would that be
AL
in
were
terms
really
of doing
looking
something else?
for.
No
And
clue,
go
bro,
back
but it would have
right
to just,
off
it just has to be
and
salary.
reset up for a Baron, or that
Ideally
Ocean
with
Soul
a
coming
career
in 30
path.
seconds. We also have
To be
Dora
honest,
for
I'd
C,
probably,
which
I would
is
actually
barrel
stay in
down
the gaming
mid lane
industry.
with
I'd like to stay in the
Jermaine.
gaming industry broadly.
Yeah, do whatever you want because BLG cannot fight you.
Tell Monty and
the
Thorin to pay me
slightest.
more.
I don't even think that was
No,
a
I think
bad
I get paid
attempt
too
from
much
BLG.
already.
It was a great Baron start because no
I think sometimes
tank
it's
should be able to
ludicrous the
do
amount of
that
money
to
we
Baron.
get paid for
I
certain
don't care
things.
how fed he is. That is
Not that I'm complaining,
unbelievable that
but-
he's just soloing Baron at full health as a full tank. But this will
Well-
be Ocean Salt. I don't see any way. Maybe Shun can steal
Shun?
it, but
Let's get
it
busy,
would
bro.
have to be a miracle, and even then you lose Baron on top of it.
Wenbo's here, but doesn't have needlework. Breathe is going to back in TP in for some extra health and maybe an item. BLG seem content to try and flip the game here as Shun resonating strike forward onto Shanks, who's down to about half HP. He doesn't have.
Yeah, I just wish there was more broadcasts to work on, man. Like in League.
They're a couple seconds away from coming back online, and Tarzan and
It's just so shagged.
skittish. They're going to allow BLG into the pit and try and corral them in there as Hope's Gravity Field is going to keep on away. Shun going to have to ward hop back out as Viper in the Shroud goes in. They try and go after the Victor, but he goes into the stasis.
Okay, they killed the Shen. No, Shen's dead before Drake.
But he goes down, and that means Ocean Soul
wait, it got stolen!
Comes away with the dragon. They lose their support, but at
Did Tarzan smite something that wasn't the dragon? I don't get it.
And Viper's able to flash away from
What?
Tarzan.
It's still probably going to be the Baron, though.
Are we for real?
Maybe AL are
Did
not
they see
confident
the
enough and they
Shuriken
just want
flip?
to chase down Viper.
Oh,
With the
Tarzan's
damage I
gonna
saw
check
from
that bush.
Tarzan earlier, I think it is a possibility. Viper's just going to get walked down and found eventually.
There's the taunt. Justice Punch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whoa. There's one more.
No, he's gonna die. It's just gonna.
Viper,
He's just gonna be really annoying about it.
This is a pretty time-consuming endeavor for Tarzan and company. He's still not down just yet.
Okay, it gets to a point where it might not be good. We might.
It's been long enough. No, never
Well,
mind.
not if he gets hit by a pebble, and he will.
Ever thought about becoming a video game developer?
Death
Greetings from
timer-wise,
Argentina.
Viper is, of course, off the board for 50 seconds.
I would love to actually be a game developer, but I don't know what knowledge is required to do it. Like, I actually think
Yeah, but
I
they do
could.
have Hope and Kael
I
back,
could
so
work
it's still
as like
pretty
a
scary, and it
game
seems like Kael
director.
Still feeling pretty confident after Viper's
Slash,
dead. To at
like,
least
some
start
kind of
up the
role like
Baron
that,
and
like a-
BLG. It felt like a miracle that they not only got
Like
the
that kind of
dragon with
direction,
the
I
Gunlord,
actually
but didn't
wouldn't
get
mind
fully
doing.
Ace when they were all in the pit. Skarner ult
Also, you know
completely
what?
missed,
I said
they'll
this. I
have
can't
their
remember. I think it was
ults
to
back up.
Orcs the other day.
Needs to be Wenbo
Or
doing all the
a
damage to
couple
the
of months
front
ago.
line. Can he do it?
I wouldn't mind being a game journalist because game journalists are fucking bad. Like, I think so many game journalists are bad at their job.
Apparently.
And I think I'll be a very good game journalist.
You got super fed in the early game. Let's see if he gets the smite across here. Wenbo over the
This
wall.
brother got one shot.
Shun just can't get into the pit. He's
Oh,
gonna
the kick
kick
didn't hit
Shanks away
Kyle.
from his own
Oh my
self.
god, wait, Wembo's kind of
going after
1v9ing.
Breathe gets him very low with the big needlework, but the hero's entrance comes across.
Wembo's doing a lot of work. He's
Secured
dead finally,
first
though.
picks up the Baron, and down goes Wenbo. Viper
Yeah, like, also
has
game journalists are, like,
respawned, but he's not here to
notoriously
even
bad
try and clean up a fight
at
for
games
BLG.
somehow.
They
And
buy
I would
more
like to describe
time,
myself as a very
but
good
AL
video game
still
player.
get the Baron, and they're now at 5,000 gold.
Yeah. They do an amazing job.
I
keeping
would
Shun out. We'll take a look
absolutely
back
love to
here.
be a
So,
game journalist.
Tarzan misses his ult, Kyle misses
Also,
his
those guys
dash.
get paid
Look
like
at
so
how
much
it's
money.
used to just kill Kyle. It's all
By
this,
the way,
and only the support
I remember
dies.
I went and checked it one time.
Shun
I
ends
think
up
the
walking
average
back
game
into Hero's
journalist's,
entrance, and let's
like,
have a look
air
at this.
quotes, salary,
How?
he smited on. Oh my god, he smited on and not the
Oh,
Drake.
there was no smite.
No, he smited on,
It-
I
it
think.
looked
Or was
like
there just no
a
smite?
Like sound and animation, but on the HUD there was none. So it could have been a spectator bug, but I don't see how.
What's
you
your rank
won't,
in League?
win the
Diamond
smoke
1
fight
right now,
when
I
it's
think. Or
300
Master. I don't know if
against But well done from Knight.
I haven't
to
played
at
in a
least
while.
deny the Ocean Soul, but yeah, we don't get to see it. Shun was kept out so well by the Galio, by the Shen. It's really hard, like you were saying, for this Lee Sin to do anything in this game.
But yeah, I
And
would,
to be
I would,
honest,
love,
it's
I would
hard
actually
for
love to
BLG
be a
to
game
even
dev
think
in
about
some
finding
capacity.
anything
I think
at
I
all.
have.
Viper's gonna look for a flank, but
I think I'd have
who
the.
can you even kill?
I think I have the
It's just
qualities
same
for it.
Reoccurring target, which is Hope. Inhibitor's going to go down, though, and AL
What's
are
the
gonna
salary
shift
for a
up
game
towards
journalist?
the
Oh
top.
yeah, I don't know if I said. So the salary for a game journalist is
BLG
like
have too many waves to really deal with.
60k USD,
The Maiden,
70k
Wolves,
USD. I think that was the
they
average
can't
that I like pulled
afford
up.
to protect their top lane Inhibitor. Viper
And I was just sat there thinking to
crossing
myself,
a
like,
mid-wave
how?
to try and slow down this push, but
Like,
Breeze
actually
got
how? And if
pulled.
that's the case,
The
get me
Maiden's
in.
here a
I'm
fat
there.
wave. They're just going to go knocking on these Nexus turrets. Arcane Storm's going to come down. First Nexus turret is already vanquished. Viper being marked by Shanks, so that he can't get in here. They've got like
This
4
game's just
Baron
over.
up cannon
They legit can't play.
The Nexus is
I think
fully
Viper
gold.
griefed with his build, by the
BLG,
way.
They gotta put up one final fight at some point, and here it
Like,
is.
how is he supposed to deal
Wenbo
damage with
the needlework
Gunblade
trying to burn through Breeze,
like,
but he's fighting
Gunblade
himself
rocket
back.
belt, bro.
He's gonna grab Wenbo.
You can't even
He'll
kill
go
Hope.
down.
Look.
Knight jumps on Shanks, but
He
goes
finally
into
killed him.
stasis. Viper will find the kill onto Hope. Knight
Okay,
flies
hold
away
on.
from Shanks, picks
But
up
the
one
Nexus is
kill,
open.
but Breathe
Guys,
and
what if we turn
Tarzan
around and hit
are
Nexus?
too tanky, and they
Thoughts?
just keep on wailing through BLG. AL are gonna find themselves the game to win and push the series the distance.
Well, Shun's laughing in the cams after
With all the
that, so
game
not
journalism
super
talk,
bummed
are
out by
you
that
/do you
loss.
know what
At
Elephant Gaming
least.
channel is working on?
All that at the end to just kill Hope. He had Zhonya's. It was.
It's stuff like that, and it's why I enjoyed it. Honestly, it was. Do you know what kind of put me onto it as well? It was playing through Resident Evil, but doing it from the lens of actually just taking in the experience fully, with like a journalistic air quotes mindset in place. Because obviously I was doing that all to then play Resident Evil 9. Which yeah, kind of put me on. 6K is not that much, is it? Most finance jobs? Yeah, finance jobs, bro. Finance jobs. Most regular jobs do not pay that well. We need Halo review? I think they want to do it. I think they want to do an episode on LFN Gaming for it. I actually think they want to do... I think they want to do an episode. And I would 100% be there for that. Like, Halo... Oh, I'm going to run ads on Twitch. I think based on the bar... See, this is the thing with the ads manager. Like, I legit can't tell how many ads... Like, what is the amount of ads I need to run to get rid of this? Because this looks like it could be 2.5 minutes. I'm going to run 2.5 minutes, and maybe before draft I have to run like 30 seconds or something. But yeah. I will probably do a Halo review on the LFN channel. Black Flag on next stream. If I do Assassin's Creed, I'd want to go through the whole franchise. Also, I need to check my second channel because I think Chris finished the second one and uploaded it, and I just completely blagged and did not upload it yesterday. Yep, that is exactly what happened. Oopsies. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with music. Whilst I watch this video. I don't know if they remade it, but I think they there's PC releases. I got bounce as well. Great speaking to you, man. Take it easy. Yo, YouTube, Betty. Okay, honestly, this looks pretty good to go. I might just let this get uploaded now. Fuck it. I just need to publish these. Infamous Second Son. Yeah, that is a game, bro. That is a game. Wait, can I not? Oh my god, that's so cringe. I'll select from video. Alright, hold on, the screen's gonna go black. And I need YouTube to stop being cringe. It's really trying to make me get YouTube Premium. I probably will. Hold on. I have to... I just can't load this video on YouTube in 1440p. It just refuses. Sorry, chat. Oh, and now this doesn't want to capture because I have a different notification number. That's good. Whoa. Oh, thank you, RDI in Discord. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. Because it was getting a bit ridiculous, what it just tried to do to me. What it just tried to do to me was just pure evil, bro. It's not right. We used to do... We used to do... I'm just gonna go fill up my water. There's 3 minutes left on this pause. I'm not blocking any ads by putting myself up here, am I? I don't think so. Okay, BRB. Okay, who's ready for game 3? That was Pink Panthers. Yep. She got a degree from your uni. Say swear. I mean, we had a mage versus assassin bot. You need Viper on the mage. Wait, is that part of the... Is that part of your fucking sweep, bro? I'll cry it if so. Oh, okay, okay. Trying to go 3 for 3, 2k bet on game 1, 2.8k bet on game 2, 1. Now 2k on game 3, but they crunched odds hard. Ah. Okay, Camille banned by AL. Yeah, I'm not letting that shit go through.
So, Jay Beto, what is this B1 going to look like for AL? Or what do you want to see? I direct to you.
Zillion first
Cassio.
pick.
Ah. Nope.
This is the flex. No.
I reckon Ziggs Leona.
It is a flex. The Cassiopeia. We've seen Viper play it.
I think
we
it's
know Knight
time.
can play it.
Looks good too in the bot. Syndra something that's up.
Oh yeah, Syndra.
There it
yeah,
is.
That's good. Good
Been
point.
banned all series so fast, so also a flex. I wouldn't even be surprised to see one follow the other depending on what lane it ends up going to. But it means that both drafts are very open in the way that you can approach, because the role is the same, depending, but the lane is going to be different. So Cass will still do the same thing, Syndra will still do the same thing. Interested to see what build AL do go with the Syndra, because I know that been seeing a little bit of the Blackfire Torch, Cosmic Drive, that's still popular.
Yep.
But then I also have been seeing like the Luden's Shadow Flame one shot. That does a lot of damage. I was playing a bit of that. The Bard, really nice here too. Decent into the Cass. This is what we were talking about a bit before. Similar to the comp from last time from AL, you start picking these mages and all. This is a bit early, but still. You start picking the mages and the big purple man Prior rises up very much.
and can be decently flexible too, right? You don't necessarily have to get wild and throw it into the bottom lane, but it's not going to be the pick here. Instead, we're going to go with the purple-haired brute, Trundle. So Shun's going to lock that one in, and it looks like they're going to, heed your advice.
How has BLG looked without Bin?
It's not even necessarily for me that Wenbo doesn't necessarily pass the carry check this series, but I also think he looked fine on the Cassante in the game we saw him on and on. So back to your comfort point, Jay Beto, I think this is the most comfortable spot he'll land on, and they're kind of daring AL and Breathe to be like, all right, well, I can handshake tank v tank, because then Shun's going to be happy with that subjugate.
Yep. So this is going to be Caitlyn Bard. Most likely it means that the Syndra will be going into the mid lane. Not
Sustained
for hope.
Damage.
I think that AL are a lot more comfortable with this bot lane duo. This is very popular. Oh, sorry, a very popular duo, and has been this year as well. Was one of the things that started rising up into Ashe Seraphine that has completely fallen off the face of the planet. But, I mean, bot lanes for BLG this series, I think they need something that's going to fight. So, Trundle wants to get in and steal stats from nobody right now, which is a bit unfortunate. But catch someone with the pillar. I know Alk is a massive Trundle fan because of that.
Dare I say.
Makes sense with the cast too. It is very strong. I think it's a very unique way of starting fights too. Big slow, and you need a bot lane that's going to want to fight with you. I could see something like a Jhin to go against the Caitlyn as well. It could be an option. You could go something
I'm just
like
thinking about
Ashe,
jungle options for Tarzan.
You could go a Rakan lane, because Rakan is pretty good into Bard.
But yeah, sorry,
top lane for AL,
Barbecue. I think they've kind of looked whatever.
Can, like, slowly win. Like, Renekton's good.
Not bad,
Jax
not
is
great.
Good. You could go... The Zehen is pretty good. Anything like that gets you an advantage, because you've been winning top all series, and I think that you need to continue to do so.
AL with their second phase bans are going to pay the Viper tax and ban away the Xerath as well. Before we get this last ban in, what I will say for AL's comp is I do like that they've already kind of punished the Cassio start, right? I always look for, regardless of where Cassio's going, how well can a team outrange her? Because that's where she's so deadly, coming into the Cassiopeia. Caitlyn and Syndra both do that pretty well. So I think regardless of where this Cassio goes, it's not the easiest game in the world. As the Pantheon would have been the last ban to try and cut down on Tarzan's pool.
How about playing Olaf
Breathe
with
has a decision, right? Am I gonna
Trundle on the other
handshake
team
the
just
tank
feels bad.
play to bring
Wukong
in sort of a good
Nasus.
engaged threat to set up my Bard, my Caitlyn, my Syndra? We'll have to see what Breathe goes with.
Okay.
Because we are going to bring Nasus into the fray here, and that is very likely to go into Tarzan's hands. We do not see top lane Nasus in pro play, folks, in case you're wondering.
You never know. We could.
Anything can happen, that's true. Anything can happen this season, I forgot.
It is going to be something like the Ashe. This is not surprising to me at all. Very strong AD carry into Caitlyn. You do get outranged by the autos, but you do a really good job of keeping her at distance, and you can still clear. I think Bard is still good. Seraphine. Okay, so we are going to go with this. See, this is the thing. The Caitlyn Bard was played into, which is a bit surprising that we're seeing the Ashe Caitlyn picked up now, but still confident, and I think it's great with Trundle. I think it's great with this fighting style comp that I was talking about.
Yeah.
This would be a very common answer. This is partly why
Well,
people
now
stop playing
Olaf
Ashe
feels
Seraphine,
good.
because the Olaf just destroys you. Now, there is a lot of consistent damage to chew through the Olaf with Cassiopeia and the Ashe, so I think that Breathe is going to have to be very careful with how he approaches his fights, because otherwise you're just going to get absolutely melted. The thing with AL's comp is very similar to BLG's comp. In the first game, starting fights is pretty tough. You got Scout of the Week and a Bard stun or a Bard ult. That's kind of it. Yeah. You've got slows from Wither. That's a possibility too. But BLG have so much team fighting prowess. They've got a great front line with the Cassante and, partly the Trundle. They have no guaranteed engage, but they have Trundle Pillar. They have slows from Cass, the ult from Cass. Slows from Ashe Seraphine, the volley, also the arrow for the stun.
Okay, I don't have to run ads.
Obviously the encore, the combo we've seen so much of. I think BLG's comp is really, really good as long as Olaf doesn't take over the game.
I agree. I think running into a Trundle, running into Cassio, running into Ashe is daunting, but like you mentioned, it's what AL are going to have to do in those traditional fight setups. They're not really going to be able to chew through a Cassante. Trundle does have a decent subjugate target in the Nasus, if you're not too familiar with the Nasus in the jungle. Does build a bit more on the tankier
Run
side,
10x
right?
ads, anyone who gets them is super unlucky. 75 gifted in the last couple of hours. It's true.
As well, to be able to fight in the front line for a while. That's something that Shun is going to like. And it really does, aptly as you put it, J-Beto, come down to this Olaf. What a spot for Breeze.
Nah, I'd had to have done it a second ago.
For AL to try and help their squad topple Billy Gaming. Here is game 3. Give me those Jayos.
Bomboclat.
You know, I feel like in Split 1, I feel like there were some times where the crowd mics were really, really... Is that the first since 2013? Wow. That's crazy. 4,755 days. That is a long time. I was in primary school, which you don't actually have, but I'm sure you know what primary school is.
Different names for the similar things, yes. And
similar. You guys have 3
Kyle
schools.
just saved the whole game.
Yeah, it's a little weird to me too, because some of them, that middle school, well, it is in fact called middle school, but like the middle of the 3, to refer it to you. Some places it's only 2 years worth, and then you move to another school.
Really?
Sometimes it's 3. It's definitely a little bit weird, but
Is high school always 9 to 12?
Yes. It's
Okay,
just
so
sometimes
it's just elementary school might be longer.
Sometimes middle school is 7-8. Sometimes in some places it's 6, 7, 8. But I was in middle school the last time we saw an Nasus jungle, the first year I was in middle school. So that is definitely a blast from the past. Shout out Kyle, though, for helping protect
13 years
Tarzan
since Nasus jungle in LPL.
Nasus is definitely very weak in those early clears. Very susceptible to a Trundle they'll want to fight. So, yeah, sure, Hope definitely gets shoved in here by Viper and On, but that was kind of to be expected with the Ashe Seraphine. So, sacrifices have to be made for the King of the Jungle. That's how AL runs.
And we're talking about making sure the Olaf doesn't get off to a massive, tear, but if you get there, Nasus can do the same. I saw something about Nasus being more of a mid-game scaler than actually being a hyper scaler.
Genuinely. I mean, just fair play. Fair play to Kyle for being there.
Fighting is so much better.
Being there
and,
first.
Yeah, he does infinitely scale, but
oh my god, we're back.
Realistically, you're
hello,
not
bro.
there, so it's much more about.
Shit, he probably doesn't have Wither. Oh, he does have Wither.
The mid-game is.
I don't know if Tarzan's going to get there if he gets
that's
knocked
a problem.
off of his clear like this by Shun, but
oh!
goes forward too far with
Does Shanks have enough
nearby.
for an E? He doesn't, I think. Oh, he missed.
Scatter,
I think.
though, will not hit.
No, he had enough mana to cast the Insta. That was good.
Both jugglers dropped their flashes, but Shun just continuously trying to find Tarzan in his weakest point.
Yeah, the Trundle tax, as I like to call it. He walks in, that's his camp, or you have to help. And they do help. Breathe.
Wenbo's going to need some help. He's going to flash away from Breathe.
On the toe.
Or throw of the axe could find that solo kill. He takes a turret shot. Doesn't find it. Both top laners slip away. Kyle is level 3. He's saying what's up to Shun. Trying to take his red buff away. Classic Bard player.
Oh my god, it's going to reset.
Trying to be the biggest nuisance he possibly could be on the map. And, well, Shun's just going to shrug it off.
Yeah, very aggressive start to this game, and Wenbo already struggling. It's going to be a tough lane anyway, with the true damage and the ability to chase down. No flash, no ghost on Breathe, and Wenbo has to use his summoners to get back to lane as well. So, ends up living. No blood, despite a lot of bruises around the map so far. The only real lead of any kind is Viper on this Ashe down the bot lane. Also has a pot left, so feeling very comfortable in this lane so far. And already you can see the Bard roaming.
Nessus has 100 stacks already.
Style that we've known about for a long time, and I'm going to say is what really started the roaming support meta completely. Camille definitely up there as well, but the fact that Bard can just do this and have XP for free is and go around the map very, very fast is very important to the roaming playstyle. It makes him one of the best, if not the best. Good damage on tonight.
Oh my god, is
This
Kyle
the
gonna...
Syndra into Cassio matchup, which is very Syndra favored. We talk all endlessly about the range difference. Kyle,
Oh!
My god, there's one thing to roam and it's another to just
It actually
create
connected,
first
bro.
blood on your own. Exactly what we
That's
wanted
so
to
fucked
see
up.
from Kyle. This is what he does at his best.
I just realized, has
We're
Tarzan
glad to
not
have
reset
him
yet?
Not restricted in the 2v2 anymore in the new split 3. First blood to AL.
And he'll take that first blood too. That's his kill. He earned it,
Oh.
alright? He flashed, he stunned. I'm taking the kill. That's how I like my supports. But it is a little unfortunate, but it doesn't particularly matter. Shanks is still denying XP. Like, he's up a ton of XP in this early game. It's a massive spoon. Getting plates, well, he hasn't got a plate yet, but chipping down the plates, getting a little bit of a CS lead, and has a little bit of, 250 gold. Shun will get the dragon, so that is a nice answer back. And Knight still has flash, and both Kyle and Shanks had to use their flash. So there is options for Shun to get in. Shun and Knight onto a Syndra with no flash. Like, yeah, she has the pushback, but you still can... She's still an immobile mage, right? So you can find her with no flash. Probably level 6, which Knight has right now. So look out for that, but... Grub's in a minute 40. I wouldn't even be that shocked to see, like, maybe BLG rotate up, lane swap for it. Nice vision will show Tarzan.
Bro,
there,
Tarzan,
so
go back
they
to
know
base.
They've got time here for like
Oh my
one,
god, he
maybe
literally
2
doesn't
more
have time
waves.
because his chickens will get invaded if he doesn't.
Base, if they want to swap, try to
Bro,
get
Tarzan's on the
Westboro,
map 7 minutes of the
onto
game.
the weak side, but they're just gonna go for this invade right now.
Oh my god, bro.
Yes.
Oh, Viper has arrow.
Second
Here we go.
spawn of Raptors. We must
gonna
fight all
connect.
out. And if an Ash Arrow lands from Viper, maybe we can push even further here. The Pillar's going to pull Tarzan back, make him to walk around.
close.
Petrifying Gaze.
Wow.
Not going to hit onto Tarzan.
Really rare example of Bardar being able to be cast from a distance and it actually,
so no
like,
kill to be found there. Night
helping.
still hunting. Miasma's going to come down here. Shanks looking to trade back with Kyle.
A lot of people, I think, don't know that Bard can cast
And
ult
we've got
from,
Breathe Props
sorry,
doing
R,
He's chilling.
the tunnel from
Yeah,
quite a
he's
while,
having a good
quite a
time.
ways away.
And he's not going to die either. He has ult and Ghost up, so he's very hard to kill. Both AD carries use their adaptive force pots, so that'll be down for any skirmishing after. Means, especially with Knight using the Petrifying Gaze, that BLG are probably not looking to get the grub super aggressively, which is a little bit of a concern with Olaf and Nasus and Caitlyn. They're really good with grubs.
Yep.
So it would be a nice boon to take away. So if AL do want to go there, I believe they would be stronger. They've got the Nasus ult, they've got Ragnarok on Olaf, they've got the Syndra ult now too, and when Kyle hits level 6, which probably won't happen.
How's Wimmerman doing? Is he the GOAT?
While the grubs are
Nah,
up right now.
he's just been
Might happen in
existing.
a couple of minutes.
Knight?
Flash in from Knight.
Flashes for the Miasma.
Yeah, I
Unleashed
mean,
powers
Shanks
to
is
come
just
back
dead,
out,
bro.
but Knight is just going to walk him down and
Oh,
bot side.
God.
Viper's been unleashed. Takes down Hope. Nice double snare from Kyle, but he is
Tarzan
mincemeat.
killed Knight
Double
on
kill
mid-wave.
over to the BLG bottom lane.
Huh.
Yeah, where's your hard mid lane now? Knight says, I don't care. There's the flash punish onto Shanks. I thought it was going to be with Shun, but instead it's just Knight by himself. No ult. Flashes in when...
Hey!
Oh,
Hey!
Okay, that's
Wenbo.
not just me.
yeah.
Have a
that is
word.
not just you. That is not an Aussie. An
Oh.
Aussie diff.
Hey!
It is often.
Oh, I'm guessing it is a lag issue. Don't know if it's Hoya, but when Wenbo's getting chased down, he will in slow motion flash out of an
Oh,
axe
God.
breathe, and he'll be
It's a horror.
fine. But yeah, tragic timing on these tech issues. Oh my gosh.
Boy.
We are now catching up at massive speed, and hey guys, nothing's wrong. We are back
Alright.
up into the action, and no time for J Beto analysis because I see Shun, oh boy, onto the grubs. He secured one, and with the help of Knight and On, he should be able to pick up the rest of them. Tarzan and Kyle, yep. Just gonna channel the recalls.
Nice.
All right, Jack, a lot of stuff just happened there. Lots.
Yeah, and I didn't see any of it. No, I'm kidding. Looked like, hang on.
Oh.
Looks like Wembo has the adaptive force pot too, so went for an all-in. actually did a pretty good job. Shun is here on the top side. The adaptive force pot is still ticking, so still got a little bit of that extra AD.
What a weird.
We'll take a look back here at this engagement. So that's what it is. It's
so
the scout of the
that's
week
why
goes down. No
Shanks...
flash. Knight feels very confident.
Yeah, Shanks just can't be playing that far out, man.
Cooldowns are up.
I think Knight even
Sound
made that kind of
very
telegraphed.
easy.
His posturing was
Do we miss
kind of
this in the
obvious.
bot lane? We might have missed this. What happened
We
here?
saw this. Supportal combat. Oh, yeah, the start of this, though, we definitely missed. It seems like
Oh, yes.
Viper?
Yep.
just bodying hope. I mean, how's
Oh
to
my
describe
god,
that?
beautiful.
Yeah, I
Please
thought we were
drain
gonna
me.
take a look back
Please
at the
take
top.
Belba,
everything I have.
Thank you for another
Oh.
25 gifted and another hype
Not
train.
only that,
Holy.
I was convinced AL were going
Let's
to
see.
try to get some kind of
Let's see who-
grubs,
oh,
with
okay.
their ult advantage, but
Low key, a lot of
weren't able
regulars
to
off the
do so
bat.
at all. BLG,
So I
the
need-
ones getting grubs and
I need
doing
all
a
of these
great
things
spot.
to
Look at the
chill on the
petrified
pop-ups.
gaze. I think Knight juked his own team's arrow there. Did you see that?
Wait, so many
Yeah,
regulars
it's
caught.
it's like a natural reaction, right?
So
I
many
feel that
regulars
happens all
caught-
the time.
caught subs on
It
that one.
does.
Holy. I recognize like
Like
almost all of those
Pantheon
names.
As an AD carry player, I'm just like, oh god, and then it's like,
Just
oh, wait.
traumatized.
You know, it actually is like a bit of a snowball. Like the more
But the one
ads,
thing we did miss in all
sorry,
those
the more
replays
subs that
was
you get,
actually that Tarzan came into mid lane,
the
swooped
more
up,
subs
and did
that you
kill
get,
Knight off. So he picked up that coveted kill.
the more you can
after
run ads and not
Shanks
feel
were
bad
up,
about it, because then those
Flash
people
was
aren't
tight. So
getting like
does bring some of the gold
they're not
back
seeing
here
them.
towards AL, but BLG are back to that, you know, a bit more of what you wanted to see after the game 2 loss. The synergy between Knight and Viper, and now they're both in, well, one of them's in a great position. Another
Oh,
one's in a
great
decent
feet
one.
on.
Onk's feeling great because he just juked out the Tempered Fate there. Volley slow's gonna stack, and there's the encore. Nabs Tarzan, pillar down. for
Tarzan's
extra
no
slow.
flash.
Viper stacked them even further. Fury of the Sand's gonna be held onto by Tarzan. He finally pops it, but it's too little too late because Viper has a hail of
audio's all out
arrows,
of sync
and he's
now.
got AL's name written on him. Double kill over to Viper.
Now 2,000 gold. Had the item spike advantage in that play.
I'm crying,
The
bro.
fully
Breathe is bored up
completed
here.
Stormraiser.
He
And
just
sure,
farmed enemy
Tarzan will
chickens.
get a
He's the
Raptors
top laner,
in
by the way.
top side, but this is BLG this time with 2 dragons, taking down the full bot lane turret as well.
Yeah, I mean, generally, I
Against
don't.
the
I try
Caitlyn,
not to take the
who
piss with
wants to
ads
be the
whenever I
one
run them for like
pushing
co-streams
the
and stuff.
advantage onto these turrets. BLG won't get the
Like
dragon.
I run
as
2 minutes before games
looked
and I
like,
run 3
Shanks
after
was
because everyone
rotating
leaves after the game ends
So
anyway.
he won't be able to. Yep, won't be able to get that.
And then that
But it still
keeps
is an option.
mid like
Taking a look
actual
at the
real
stack
invasive
is
mid rolls
Arrow.
off. Oh my
Let's
god,
have
this is
a
gonna
quick
connect.
check.
It will.
Oh, just
Ooh.
misses. 54 stacks on Shanks is pretty good. And I think we're 200 and something on the Nasus. That's not bad.
Oh, Scout of the Week gonna go wide there from Shanks and BLG. Nope, not gonna look for the chase down. Off the reset, cashing in Viper's gold. They will grab that second dragon, and there's no breathe
Let's
in
go.
the area to contest this any further.
I think
So BLG, a Stark chain
this
from
should
our other
just
games
be
of the
a
series
done
are
and
all
dusted
over
game.
The early dragons, and there's some pretty delectable ones up for Soul. After this Mountain Drake drops, we should be able to decipher exactly which one that would be. I'm sure an Infernal Soul is on the mind of
We're due.
Viper and Knight.
We're due an Infernal Soul, I think. Let's have a look. Damn.
Okay.
I mean, that's really good for Seraphine, Trundle, Cassandre.
Yeah.
It's great for Nasus as well. So taking a look at the stacks again, 60, that's second, I think that's W upgrade, so it's Q and W
Yes.
upgrade now for Shanks, and then 300 stacks is pretty good at 13 minutes, I would say. 2,000 gold lead on Viper is pretty scary. He's got boots, he's working towards a Zeal item. There's basically no way AL can fight if Viper is there, and Viper will always be there, and then On will always be there too. This is the team fighting that we were talking about in draft. The Encore is
No, they
so
did fall off.
devastating,
They fell
and
off
the only
really
real way to
bad.
break
Like, I
this
think
in this game is hitting a Tempered Fate,
their overall
which
coordination is
missed
just
in
so
the
much
last
worse,
fight.
AL.
That's what made On go in, or getting Breathe
Like
out
that
of
was a
lane
big part of what
and
made them
allowing
such
him
a
to
scary
ult
team
and
last
ghost
year.
run through the entire team
Was they were
and kill
so on the
Ashe
same
and maybe the
page.
Cass. And that
Where's
hasn't
Tabe
happened
now?
yet. It's too
Tabe's on
early for
JDG.
him to do that. So right
Like
now,
respect to Tabe, he
AL
just
are
chases
a-
the bag. Like who is gonna
They
pay me
are
the most?
in
And that
a
Jing Dong
comfortable
intel
spot.
money is
And, you know, further speaking on that,
Is hefty, but
Olaf chase down point is the bailout for this Viper
he could
lead.
he could have made the
You know,
legacy at
give
AO, I
credit
think.
to We're going after Shanks. Double scatter, though, is really important. All right, Shanks is out. Another reason why I love the Stormrazor purchase here, Jay Beto,
Then there was
is for that
BLG.
extra move
He could have
speed,
still been
right? You
coaching
get that
BLG.
little burst off of those selected autos.
Yep.
Again, you talked about when we had the Cloud Soul in Game 2. Movement speed is one of the most underrated and most important defensive stats, and it's going to be important for Viper to get that extra bit of distance with something like a Stormrazors, when an Olaf, and when an Nasus is running him down. So small things like that can really amount to a lot later on.
It can be an aggressive stat too, you know, if you're chasing down a comp that doesn't have a lot of mobility, like the one we're looking at. None of them have dashes, Caitlyn has the net, whatever. But speaking of movement speed as well, Leo, the Shirelia's picked up for On, has the movement speed from the W as well, and Phantom Dancer just picked up from Viper, also have some movement speed. So these guys are going to be really fast in their team fight. This is similar to like an Enchanter Xin Zhao situation where you are buffing the Ashe, sure, but you are buffing the Trundle to get in there and wreak havoc on the team. There is enough damage to take down the Trundle for sure, but he's going to do probably more damage to you than just killing him is going to do to his team.
And of course, Shun is very happy to see Tarzan atomizing for those tank stats. We have the Herald being started here by Shun. Blastcone gets them close to Knight, but no tether comes across there from Kael. You see the shortcomings of this AL comp from draft. That reliable CC isn't there to kick off fights.
Oh
to
god, I
find
just realized I've had YouTube chat closed for a little bit. Sorry, YouTube chatters, if anyone was saying anything.
Time and they, well, for now, get Viper's Flash. So that is a good omen for later, but nothing much more than that.
Yeah, Knight in the top lane, bit unsafe. So does have the Flash, like you said, but
it's feeling a lot like a slow stroke into loss.
To get anything from that, and that is a possibility, but we're 16 minutes in, haven't seen a Tempered Fate land yet, haven't really seen AL use any of their catch positively.
The minions gave it away.
Tarzan's coming up now too.
Yeah, Knight in a bit of trouble here. Sky of the Week's going to land first, and there's the Wither down. Fury of the Sands channel. Knight's trying to TP out, but DK drops the hammer. Tarzan gets himself another kill.
What's the plus health? Is it 12? 12
He's been doing fine.
Kill?
Yep, plus 12, baby.
That's a lot. So they actually do end up punishing the Flash basically immediately. Well played from AL. But again, you're still losing more on the other side of the map with Viper pushing in, getting a bigger lead, and Seraphine loves gold too. You've got the Herald that Shun can use at any time, and it's going to be Chemtech Soul point in 50 seconds if you can't show up and actually take a team fight. Yes, you get the kill, you get the tower in the top lane, that's great, but you need to come down here and take a fight. Tarzan has 400 stacks. If he's able to get another item...
Is Tarzan
here,
2 items? Oh, are they gonna... Oh, they're gonna cheat tempo and drop next Drake.
So
okay.
this is 3 abilities upgraded. He's just
I think they have to play...
Ult. As long as Knight isn't caught here, they shouldn't lose too much, and honestly, AL might even be too late to the play down in bot side unless
I don't get it.
Can get
Why did they do that?
Right now, it's 20 seconds.
Why did they
until
posture to
time.
not look for the pick?
I don't think they're going to be
the white flag. Yeah, I mean, he's going towards his Gromp. Gromp over
I
Dragon
guess,
at this
sure.
point, which is a real slippery slope.
Wait,
right?
did somebody...
Outlined
Did somebody mention...
multiple
Did
times
one of the
how
casters mention
difficult
searches?
Navigating
Holy
fights
ball
can
knowledge.
be for AL. That gets compounded on when you have to think about walking into this bottom river in, 5 minutes time after this dragon drops, because you certainly have to contest that Chemtech Soul. So, slippery future outlook here for AL and that Drake stacking. Chemtech Soul could be BLG's at 23.5 minutes.
Yeah, that'll be very fast. I understand the idea because Viper is so strong, or Viper and On are so strong. They've got the Herald for the fight. It's very unlikely you're winning that. So I'm not saying that AL should have rocked up late and entered and lost the game and lost Dragon anyway. But it's just a indicator of a much bigger problem in this game of we aren't really doing a whole lot in general. And because the bot lane was so rough, we don't have a massive lead through this game.
Viper caught.
Oh,
Nice
Kael,
flash.
what a find! Flash bind into the Tempered Fate. Encore going to come out, but it
He is
only
dead as hell,
grabs
but can they
Kael
trade more?
because Shank's flashed over it. Hope
Okay,
gets the big
Kyle
shutdown. Soon will bite down
Not
on
ideal,
Kael
though,
for
this
three,
flash
but
forward.
steps on a trap, and it's going to be a double
Kyle
up
might have just
for
saved the
Hope.
whole game.
A huge lifeline to the Pandas. They get the coveted shutdown.
Oh,
said,
they might have just saved the whole game.
Huge lifeline there given by BLG. Viper has flash and he doesn't use it to get away from Kael. Tries to sidestep the Q anyway, and really good flash from Kyle. So take a look back here. Steps over a ward. Flash in and Qs. Viper ghosts, but doesn't have enough time to get away. He probably could have just flashed behind him over the wall, and he was fine. But instead, tries to greet the flash, dies, and then his team tries to salvage the play. Shun flashes in as well, but Hope does damage. Hey, this is like the point of Caitlyn where she's like the weakest, in quotes, where normally she's really strong in the early game and really strong late game. And that middle game is a bit of an awkward position, but she still does a lot of damage. You're giving her the option to set up traps and nets and multiple headshots.
And just look at the sheer numbers and the shift we've seen in that aspect, right? Viper was up nearly 2,000 gold. It was hovering like 1.8. It's been halved at this point for Hopu. Like you were talking about the weak stages of Caitlyn. We've gotten over like the first big hump of that, I would say, with this Infinity Edge being completed. Another Temper Fate here from Kyle, going to force out the Ash Arrow onto Hope, who does get double tap snare, but they're just going to blow up Shun. Unleashed Power comes across from Shakes.
Guys, there's a Baron buff up.
They're TPing Breathe in. Are AL just going to rip this Baron? I mean, why not? No jungler up for BLG.
Looks like AL are aware that the position isn't hard winning yet, but they are finding these really good catches. This is what their comp, that's unfortunate as well. This is what their comp does so well at doing, and what I was asking to see more of them do, but none of the picks or the catch was landing before. It is now, and partly it's off of BLG's mistakes. The first one where Viper's dead, it's his mistake. He doesn't flash, he walks over a ward that his team easily could have swept. That is one of the most common ward spots in the entire game.
Wow,
and Kyle's in a really smart position, mechanically plays it well. This time, Shun's caught off and dies. Not the cleanest mid-game from BLG. They haven't lost their lead as of yet, but you can see the way that AL want to take their fights and the way back into this game.
It's Kyle showing up in the big moments, finding both of those instrumental picks. Exactly what we really felt AL were lacking in a lot of their games during Split 2. Jailing Kyle in these classic 2v2 lanes, jailing him on boring enchanters when it comes to the playmaking ability. And now he gets a coveted Bard game, and he's willing AL back into it
Kyle.
with picks like that. Temper Fate gonna find on.
Oh god, all of the R's are just swinging and missing.
Shots are coming out from Hope.
Oh
lordy
lord.
Tarzan caught on the front line with
oh my god, is Wimbo just running the game? Wimbo and Knight running the game.
Miasma is catching Tarzan on the way out. Ragnarok used just so the Breathe can find his way to safety. And the man that created all the action for AL in these last couple minutes is the only one to find the gray screen.
Yep, when you need him most. Knight is the one that rocks up and does so much in that fight. Smite's still available. Tarzan's trying to heal off of the Wolves. Baron's doing a lot to BLG.
Scatter gonna get some decent stuns, but Tarzan doesn't have Fury of the Sands. There's no Ragnarok on Breathe. There's no reliable way to kickstart this fight. AL are just kind of sitting, hoping BLG make a mistake, and they certainly don't. Baron secured, and AL
it's a bit messy.
Run all
Drake's
the way
up in
down
5
the
seconds.
River, because that Chemtech Soul Drake is back up on the map.
Are they going to let them have this? I feel like they kind of fucked up their pathing here.
Isn't. Both Own and Viper are sprinting back.
I think
towards
Wimbo's
the top
fine.
River. Wimbo's gonna face check.
Okay, Wimbo's less fine now.
But how tanky really is he? Ace in the hole coming across.
He doesn't have TP. Oh, Viper, what the fuck are we doing?
Breathe flashed after Viper, but he matches it with a flash of his own.
Ash Arrow.
A hail of arrows against Breathe, and the all-out for
It's
Wimbo.
fine.
Sets up a
Wimbo ran the
huge
game.
petrified gaze from Knight to 5-2.
Oh, that pillar nearly interrupted the blast code.
The only sanctum of safety.
Well, we got there in the end, didn't we, guys?
With the Pandas once more.
And that might just be the game, Slayer. Baron for BLG for the 2 minutes. Chemtech Soul as well. If the game isn't over right now, it's very close to being over. You lose the Baron. You don't even contest. You want to set up for the Dragon. You're not allowed to. BLG will chase you down and fight you again and again. Viper, the only one of BLG to die.
Chill with the Night Glaze, that was all Wimbo. That's literally what I said.
Heroics that is required of him in this series.
What?
Flashes out. Viper
I literally just I just spent the last 60 seconds saying Wimbo and Knight both ran the plus. Oh, the casters.
Hope is so low from Viper chunking him down. Knight and Wenbo going in together. And even though Viper falls down,
Be specific,
full
bro.
health, and Knight just does so much damage on this Cass.
There is the straw that breaks the camel's back, proverbially. And there's another kind of look into how Game 1 fell apart for AL. They were in it for so long, and that one mistake, that one team fight setup that just wasn't on par with the rest. And BLG take that inch and push it towards a mile. Now on the Baron power play push, already up about 4,000 gold on that play. Value here for AL, Jay Beto, is that at least in the top side, Shakes has pushed it out completely. So that wave is at least irrelevant for the time being. Just don't really focus on what mid and bot are looking like, AL fans. Ash Arrow. All right, there's the kills out onto Hope already.
Truck line's pretty scary though, so while that's up and while Hope can continuously do that, you're going to need to look for some stuff in mid lane, but it's just Wenbo doing that. So very difficult for him to get the full tower, although the waves will do so. 20 more seconds on this Baron, so this will be the last wave to see how much damage you can get onto the turrets. 10 seconds remaining.
I wouldn't
expect
I don't know, it would have to be some freaky fight where Tarzan gets to just one-shot Viper.
Could be looking for a pick here as they go back into mid, but again, this is the last wave. Baron is
I just can't see it happening though.
Try and see if they can burn through the turret. Aron's going to fish for a flash encore. Not going to hit anything though. Decent chunks going into Tarzan, but the wave is gone. And there is a no threat to the AL base being cracked for now. And that should really slow down the pace of this game.
Yeah, well played by AL on the defense. Not only the traps, but Shank's doing a good job of pushing people away with the Scout of the Week. Pardon me. And also juking out the members of AL that juked out the Encore. That would have been very detrimental. It's a bit ambitious for BLG to go for the tower once the Baron is off, but they do go for it. They don't lose anything other than On's flash, which, to be honest, is important in this game because of the Bard. But if he can stand at the back and get an encore through his whole team, it probably won't really end up mattering if he has the flash or not. The Chemtech Soul is also going to do massively with the shielding and also making him more tanky, as well as the rest of BLG. So, to be honest, I think this is really just dotting T's and dashing I's, if you get me.
Oh, I get you, Jay Beto, and then some. It's, again, going back to how hard it is to really make these fights work for AL. Now that that front line for BLG
You can't kill that guy.
feels tanky enough to support the Ashe Seraphine. And like you mentioned, the scaling of that bottom lane fully.
Oh, AO, my beloved.
AL, in order to find this miracle comeback, to make this a series win, they have to run into BLG. And that's exactly where Billy Gaming
Why are you
wants
so
them.
bad
so
now?
How do you overcome such a hypocritical
Great
kind
McHale's.
of spot to be in? Or ironic, nonetheless. Temper Fate not going to land. They're fishing for Knight. Asher once again was going to be McHale's used onto Hope. But without that trap line set up and without the threat of a Scatter of the Week, BLG slowly whittled down this tier 2 turret. They're going to go on to Wenbo instead, who eats the entire Unleashed power. The Wither Slow is going to make sure Wenbo's going to have to use any of his movement abilities to get out. He gets the flash. Now he's looking to turn around on a Tarzan. He's going to go all out. I think he's just buying time here and will finally die, but not much to be gained there for BLG. They at least get the top lane tier 2 turret, but
Why is this
just
taking
some
forever?
measly couple 100 gold shillings.
I don't
This is
like
really
it.
what they're looking for.
It's
And
scary.
Wenbo did die fairly late. He has
It's
TP,
scary. I don't
he's
like
got
it.
a 40-second death timer, and it's 20 seconds until Baron. It shouldn't really result in a whole lot because I don't think AL down 7,000 gold and Chemtech Soul are confident enough to walk in and just start Baron in the face of BLG. But that isn't a great time to die. It doesn't result in anything as of right now, and AL are not in a position to do Baron. BLG covering really nicely with some vision and mid-prio. So hopefully Wenbo will be able to TP back to his team and it not result in a whole lot. That's on a flank here. He's spotted.
Ooh.
Yeah, Hope has Cleanse and Splash, so has a little bit of extra confidence to step up on those waves. BLG not going to fully move over towards that Baron. Again, they're trying to play towards the more important objective at this point, which is going to be that Elder Dragon. You can see AL's vision is mostly pushed towards that topside Tarzan just now, seeing how much he can wiggle back into his own jungle. But AL are going to have to fight at this Elder Dragon. You can never afford to give away that coveted
I don't know.
Elder
Like, the thing
execute.
is, Nasus is passing his power
This is
spike.
BLG
I
as
don't know
well.
if...
Nearly having every single objective that is
I don't think it
physically
gets
possible
much
in
stronger,
this game,
though, like, relative
which
to the
is kind
game
of
than right
absurd.
now.
This is true Exodia if they do get Elder and Baron, but we'll have to see as AL are around first.
The pillar down, but
Like, yes, Nasus has infinite stack scaling, but it's not actual infinite scaling in the same way that Senna or maybe Veigar does.
Out here. He has the blast going to protect him from Tarzan. Fighting line's getting a bit murky here. But BLG are going to reconvene.
Be careful here. Hope taking the long way around.
Oh, do they know where Hope is?
Shun picks up the red buff. I thought he was chasing down Hope, but there was some ward that I couldn't see.
Loki, Viper should just hit midwave. Yeah. Go, just hit it. No, it's fine.
And methodical, and the problem here
I think he should have hit midwave. I guess what they're worried about is they don't know exactly where they are in the bot side jungle.
Reset can just go Baron.
So they're going to spot Shanks on the mid-wave here. He does have the teleport, but I don't know how much value that has. Just
Yeah, I think he... Oh, no.
Steps away.
Oh, Shanks, please TP bot to reconnect. Please. Oh, my God, Knight, you are a freak. Oh, my God, Knight. Oh!
The fairy lights are going to actually show him that Knight was all the way up in his grill. BLG still have the aggro of the Elder. AAL,
that was such a smart look.
This Elder Dragon, it can flip any game. We've seen all these comebacks surround good old Reindeer.
Oh my God,
but the
bruh.
arrows dropped by BLG. They're still just a bit too cautious about straight up 50-50ing this, despite the goalie, despite everything.
Yep.
They're not willing to give an inch.
Well, they have the sustain with the Seraphine, so these long fights they're happy to take, poke and prod and see if they can make AL make a mistake, whether it's Shanks TPing in a bad spot or whether they can find a pillar onto somebody like Tarzan here. The arrow.
Arrow.
He didn't get Mikhail's.
He doesn't have the Mikhail's up, and he's done for. Nice catch from Viper.
Just off,
and one of the
just coming off CD.
Remaining engaged duels for
just
AL
coming off CD.
Board, and Shun is showing some confidence. He's going to subjugate
oh,
onto Tarzan.
Hope cleansed part of the slow. I think they can catch him.
The flash
what?
Did
Hope just flash?
Song lures AL to their own demise.
That should be it, Slayer.
I need an instant replay. Did Hope just flash into it?
Engage. Arrow onto Kyle.
Did he just flash?
Nothing he can do, like you said. No Mikhail's.
No. I must have been sitting too far back, and I didn't see that properly.
They don't need the Elder. They don't need the Baron at the end, but they do need.
No, that's surely what just happened.
The first seed.
They still look to retain an undefeated series score early in to split 3 here. Wenbo going to put the bow on top of it, finishing off Shanks. Breathe is going to get on top of Viper and finally do what Olaf was drafted to do. But it's too little, too late to the newest member of AL. They will see
GG's.
their undefeated start to split 3 come to an end. BLG continue the one-sided affair up against the Pandas in 2026. 3-0, go BLG, knocking down AL.
Bloody hell. All right, well.
I think that Wenbo had a good game in that third
back and
game,
forth series, at least it was
so
fun.
Important for this
GG's,
game.
everyone. All right, look, I'm going to keep it brief.
Had gotten a massive lead on the
I know
Olaf.
CBLO's on in a couple hours, but I want to just chill out.
Very different. I think that Knight had a great game 2 fighting the solo
and get ready.
Shanks, and yes, he did
Because
die
C9TL, we're going to
times
lock in for that. Like, we are going to
flash,
hard
but
lock in for
he managed to
C9TL.
maintain this big lead,
Then we get Shopify
and
Dig
obviously
afterwards.
the bot
Or
lane was
DSG,
just
sorry.
a massive gap. It kind of been a gap the entire
Did you hear him call the series a 3-0? I mean, it was like a low-key.
Viper is here to play.
But also, I think he just meant that they're 3-0 in series score.
Between game 2 and the 2 wins for BLG.
Okay, chat, thank you so much for hanging out. YouTube guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you so much for watching on the YouTube side. I really appreciate it. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys later for LCS. That's in 6 hours' time. 6 hours' time, LCS. Bye. And then here on Twitch, thanks so much for the gift.